Hello. What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? I'm just about. I think I need to adjust the. I think I need to adjust the desktop audio slightly again, but otherwise, how's the audio? I think that's fine. It's fine. Okay. Hello. It's nice to see you all here today to join me in playing Game of Rat. Um, it's a game just about rats and being chased by them, but it's fun because they're friends. The rats, they're friends. And you don't hurt friends, so we're not even gonna touch the rats. We just look at them. Okay, I'm gonna everyone in my Discord who wants to join in, I'm gonna start that. So you can jump on in to the Discord call. Hello. This is my good friend Moon. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hope you're having a good day. Um, Me and my good friend Moon, we're playing Pathologic in just a second, as soon as I open it. But, um, general, like warnings, I guess? Warnings. It is a game with a lot of nasty stuff in it. You know, there's
Plagues.
plagues, and racism, which really
Yeah,
are the same.
the racism in
They're
this
both
game is
bad.
pretty
They're both
weird.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
You could say that racism is a plague, so it's just kind of it's all plagues.
Yeah, it all works out. But
And
yeah, like when people warn about racism in this game, they're not joking.
it's really bad. It's
Yeah.
it's specifically racism against indigenous people because I don't think there are any other people of color in the entire game. Um,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that's actually accurate to Russia. It's probably I don't know, but it's just because that's the that it's what I mean is that's the only group that there's racism in the game about. But there's definitely I don't doubt that there would be other racism if that applied. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
there's
Just
also
be warned.
yeah, there's definitely the game's like slightly horny at times. Like it's usually not, but like whenever Eva or like any of their brides show up, suddenly it's weird and horny, and it's not good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not like explicit, so that's fine. It's not TOS. If it was TOS, I wouldn't play this game on stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there's like violence. There's knives. You stab people. They stab you. You shoot people. There is guns. And I think that's about it.
Yeah,
There's
that's
like
most of it, I think.
pretty unhealthy family dynamics. The drill. Um,
Yeah, just like
and
if it's bad, it's here.
basically, there is
Yeah.
suicide. There's just suicide CW, but that's not until later. So I guess I can just warn for that specifically when it's coming up. But there is that in Bachelor's Root, which is what we're gonna be playing first. So let's get the game started. I think. Here, let me switch to
Yeah.
the actual stream.
Nice.
Hey,
Hey.
introduce yourself.
Hello.
Okay. Well, hi. My name is. That's a good question. I just traded one. Um,
Traces of the supernatural.
My name is Mothiva. I'm Bulgaria's latest sensation. I'm so happy to be here.
It's so nice to have you here.
You might have heard me. I tour a lot. I also have a pseudonym that I go by often a lot online. When I don't have lots of I don't want attention on me.
That's fine.
And you could call me PK, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should warn. I don't know a lot about Pathologic myself. I have only osmosis levels of knowledge from being friends with me and
Yeah.
So I will be very. This is a new experience for me. I can't wait. On my
I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Alright.
So yeah, for reference related to that, Ken has played 2 routes of the game, not this one. I've not played any routes of the game meanwhile, but I've watched all 3. So that's our experience pool here.
Yeah. I have watched a playthrough of The Bachelor, so I know what happens. We're both gonna try very hard to not say anything that would be spoilery.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to ruin that for anyone, because it's a great
Please.
thing to see happen.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just get right into it and watch.
Hey, I didn't get to
This.
introduce myself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Introduce
It's so
yourself.
rude to me. Hi.
Ah. Well, it's because I deserved it more. I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Mel. I use they them pronouns. I know things about this game because the other nerds won't shut up about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm here to do funny.
we're all here to do a little
Good.
bit of funny.
Yeah.
Knife.
That's
Is
the
somebody joined?
goal.
Hello.
That's the goal. Oh. I think they had to leave. That's too
That's
bad.
fine. Alright, let's go right into it. Because we're gonna want to watch this first scene.
So, it's
Fruit
all
scene.
about
Fruit
Love
scene.
fruit.
Wherever have you
Oh, I love fruit too.
No.
Derogatory.
No.
Derogatory.
Test trickery.
I
But if
like
we
fruit,
ourselves are to suffer deception. Our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well,
The play's going on.
muscular contraction is there. Means you're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling.
It's
We need to
stuff.
perform sectio transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please
Moon.
be quiet?
Hey, Moon,
Liar
can you pass the
thief.
popcorn?
Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medicum
Don't you go all bossy on me,
Nailed
clever
it.
clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along.
Savage.
But there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can avoid it.
Oh
No.
my fucking god.
We won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
So how are we feeling about them?
Man.
Nerds.
They are, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, now we're about to play as the nerd who actually decided to randomly quote Latin at us.
Mr. Clever Clogs, hello. I'm gonna read.
Yeah.
Let me read his description for all of you.
Wow, you're gonna read? what
Shut
a
up, shut
nerd.
The history of humanity witnessed a number of catastrophes that have demonstrated without a shadow of a doubt the pettiness of human achievement and the triumph of the invincible evil. Outbreaks of infectious diseases that have, from time to time, wiped towns and cities off the map are undoubtedly among these. However smart and virtuous, the people caught up in these destructive events have repeatedly come to the conclusion that it's no use trying to fight these circumstances. The best you can do is bite the bullet and cope with your losses. This is the story of a person who has managed to work a miracle and defeat a seemingly unvanquishable foe.
Daniil Dankovsky, a Bachelor of Medicine, was
Sure
brought
is.
here by circumstances most unfortunate.
Firing.
Dankovsky's life,
Yeah, so
his theory challenging the existing
Oh, you know.
notions of human mortality,
You'll see.
you know.
is being
You'll all
harshly
see.
persecuted by
Yeah.
the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Jan and stays at her place till dawn.
And now you get to see the very weird cutscenes in this game.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm walking here. Hello, fucker.
It's just looping the same walking
Yeah.
along the fence.
God
Look, he's
bless.
You
looking
have to
around
keep
now.
in mind. Yeah.
It's fine.
This game did not have a budget.
Just no budget at all.
Yeah, basically.
Hello, Eva. It's her.
I love how it keeps like repeating the same shot of the house too.
Take a nice long look at it. It's a lovely. As of today, my
Oh,
mission.
no.
As of today.
no.
As of today,
Oh my god.
my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. However, even if this
Really?
undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it'd be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. Day 1, by the end of which the Bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Oh.
Oh.
Whoops. Wrong button. I have to remind myself what all the buttons are. It's been a while. Not that one. That's crouch.
Gotta get used to the controls.
God, the stream is
I will-
super laggy.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
It's rough. I knew it was gonna
I'm
lag.
sure it's died.
I knew it was gonna lag, but it always sucks how much it does.
Yeah.
Try to make the best of it, I suppose.
That's
But
a
yeah,
point
like something
finder.
I wanted to comment on was that like the game's graphics are not that good, but I do kind of appreciate like even if the skill and the time with like say 3D modeling wasn't there, they really had like a clear vision, I think.
Yeah.
And you can really see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's atmospheric as hell, that's for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I have a soft spot for it, even though I know it's subjectively kind of bad. Like, it's not very high quality for sure. But I don't know, I really appreciate it visually. Just like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, there's just something about it, I can't explain it perfectly. But
Yeah.
if
no,
you just,
I definitely feel
yeah.
that.
if you noticed
I concur.
earlier, there's like a symbol that appears in the corner. It never tells you, but that means there's a letter, and you have to look at it. Otherwise, you won't know what's going on. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So,
Pretty much.
luckily I know that, so I can check it. Here it is. Isidore
Epic
Barak's
game.
message. Nobody can say anything about my pronunciation of Russian. Fuck you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. My dear Bachelor Dankovsky, it was most disconcerting to learn that the powers that be have the intention of shutting down the laboratory that owes its fame largely to your own research in the field of thanatology. Hello. Thank you I think you followed? I assume you followed. There it is. Thank you for following, Mothiva.
Hey.
Have the intention of shutting...
I forgot that it wasn't yet.
It's fine. Is it true that your detractors have branded your studies scientifically stillborn? Rejoice, Bachelor, for there is an observable case that would quell the obscurants that reject the research of death, aging, and necrosis as a subject that lacks academic viability. This case, were you to document it, would go a long way towards restoring your reputation as a scholar. The subject in question is Simon Kane, who has ruled the town where I live for as long as I can remember. This man's longevity transcends the boundaries of what is possible. It is phenomenal, no less, and I struggle to give it an explanation of it, with what scientific means I have at my disposal. Make no delay. There is a sensational discovery to be made here. A breakthrough that will not only save your laboratory, but also revivify your studies and greatly increase your scientific renown. Your humble servant and faithful colleague, Isidore Barak. I spoke to Simon on your behalf, and he has kindly agreed to facilitate your effort. Daring ideas and far-fetched projects are traditionally very, very well respected in our neck of the town. which you will soon understand.
The town.
Just the town in general.
The town that they're in, yeah.
Say hello to Eva first, though. You have a lovely home, ma'am.
I had a feeling you would come.
It is a very lovely home.
Yeah.
Did the sounds from the outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan, and then something snapped loudly. I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. So what sounds are you talking about? I think there are strangers in the backyard, by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. Why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? Our population is so thin, crime is basically non-existent, especially here in the stone yard. Sometimes there are pranks, of course. Fights happen occasionally. People are young here, so they often go out at night. But we're a tight community, and now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sound. I'll go out and take a look, but I'm in a hurry. I must see this founding father of yours. Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that of a dreadful old man, even if he is a sorcerer? That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He is. He has always been. He always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please, stay with me a little longer. Simon is a sorcerer, did I hear you right? Is that the secret to his longevity? Are you in that much of a hurry? Do come round, the Canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off, have a rest in my bed, let me warm your hands. You are so anxious to see Simon, as though your life depended on it. My life, yes, now that my laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he has really managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Death, so that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than a singular case of death. I don't understand. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to
Please
us?
speak normally.
Yeah, like I was gonna wait until this conversation was done to point that out,
Sorry.
but as you can see, Daniil is really, 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 really full of himself.
Yeah. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that had shaped this world? That is the question. So where is the key to my victory? It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible, on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? Go on. Simon has two younger brothers. The eldest of the two, Georgie, is called the Judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the three is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may be of help to you, if you need it. Okay, I'll come back. Alright, so we gotta go across the street here. Exciting
There we go.
gameplay. So,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I
Let's
finished.
go.
You can mention what you want to do. Oh, right, we have to talk to these guys. So
Yeah.
these guys are going to tell you a couple of things that are very... I guess they're important? They are very important. Halt. I'm going
Maybe.
to have to teach you about the technicalities of the setting, the time and the place. It's non-essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? Speak. I'm listening. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so? And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find the people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras, as it has always been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound-to-stand-out people, and don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? This world cares for your reputation. A fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see, for it is a mirror, wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you into a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got a vivid imagination. Everything changes, from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you need treating you badly. How many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are, lots of things. A sorry prospect. How do I maintain my reputation? Really? How is that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray, do not steal, do not covet, do not be an asshole, do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor, or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives, and don't put too much stock in others' words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Yet he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Alright. So these guys are little tutorial characters that tell you what you need to know about the world in general, and also how to play.
I think that they look very cool, and I like them.
Oh, they're
Do keep in mind, they're saying all of this to like just some guy like in the universe.
Yeah.
It's very good. Oh, funny mouse guy.
Oh, the executors, the other guy, and the tragedians, unarguably the best characters. None of the other come close. These are the best characters.
Yeah, that's
You can't
true.
beat it. You can't beat it. Venerable Bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a moment. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues. At least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you aren't. You are a living, breathing man. As is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and disease. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and to make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy, or unnaturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress, but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens. I can testify to that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is sated with food? Food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds, and only in private residences around here. I am sorry, but that's just how our world is. Yes, the world is unjust. I cannot sleep on this fence, or near the lake. I have to sleep in a bed. Oh, the tragedy of this world.
Me too.
And quite silly, if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk out on the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others would be willing to part with their life's blood for them. Blood? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if, following your Hippocratic oath, you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor, willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Show me the way to Simon's house. Turn left now, then walk along the alley. you will see a cathedral and 3 mansions across the bridge square. Simon lives in the one that is closest to the river. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. I will say, do keep in mind, like, as that tragedian said, the mentions. And in this route, we're going to be doing a lot of talking to very rich people.
Oh boy.
Everyone, to an extent, has to talk to all, like, the rich people in the town, because most of them are among the special people that were mentioned by the executor, but the Canes are especially a lot, and you do talk to them the most in this room.
Yeah, I especially like Simon, right? Like, he sounds pretty important. Like, able to, like, yeah, like, are you kidding me? Like, he's like possible sorcerer, lives really, really long. Like, I have high hopes for this.
Yeah. I mean, even Georgie here looks like a sorcerer. I mean, look at his clothes. Look at this dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most venerable doctor.
Does he never address?
No, he just looks like that. It's fine. Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly works. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing, and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered.
Ah, man. We never got to ask him his questions. That's too bad.
I can't
Worst
believe it.
mortal ever.
It cannot be. My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances. But for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who was the visitor? Someone you know quite well. The man whom my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Barak. Was he not the very person to advise you to come here as well? Yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? Categories like time, nature, and fate deprive man of responsibility for what goes on around him. I was taught to avoid this worldview. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position has here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed itself for a pawn? But why? To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you, Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out of his way to provide you with a body of evidence. What did he do? It is of no importance to me what exactly he did. He took another leap for the stars and paid a terrible price for it. I repeat, he was murdered. The subject of importance here is the identity of the murderer. Everything has gone to rack and ruin. I wish I could take vengeance upon the person who ripped the life from this man. Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, should share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Dankovsky. I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. The mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. Fine. I'm fine with this course of action. Everything. It's all your fault.
Everything.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
Daniel
There's nothing wrong
Dankovsky,
with
the
that.
most special man in the world.
Well, yeah,
Same time.
I'd agree. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, basically though.
It's all for
Yeah.
you, Bachelor. It's all for you.
Yeah,
Everything, it's all
I
for
mean,
you.
as you can see, Daniil is not really, denying that either.
I fear that Simon's death is a
As he
symbolic-
said, the murder of Simon may as well have been the murder of Bachelor Dankovsky. It's kind of interesting because the Canes are, just saying this to him, and he's lapping it up. He's not. I mean, if it were me, I would probably feel at least a little bit awkward about this. Oh, by the way, my dead brother may have sacrificed himself for you.
Oh
In
my
some way.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. As he said, the queen sacrificing himself for a pawn. And then
Jeez.
Daniil just goes with it.
I'm the most special boy in the world. Thank you for saying. I appreciate this.
Thank you for
even though I already
noticing.
knew.
Oh my God.
The famous Dr.
So
Tango.
yeah, that should.
Here we go again. It's compliment Bachelor o'clock, everybody.
Hey.
Daniel's favorite time of day.
Yeah.
The famous
Yeah.
Dr. Dankowski.
As someone in chat said, you can really see how they pile on the compliments, but what they're actually asking him to do is to help them investigate this thing. So they're asking him a pretty large question, and they're buttering him up so he'll agree to it.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonder how this man has got his bachelor's degree.
I don't know. I think he has exactly the personality of someone who would get a bachelor.
A TA critiques it once and he threw a tantrum for like a week.
God.
Your arrival is a great honor for us.
Basically.
Victor Kane at your service. Daniel Dankovsky at yours. I foresee that things have become ordinary for us, that have become ordinary for us, will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I would like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen out of the loop. Time leaves us behind. What do you mean? I mean the traditions. Games that we play with passion will most likely be of no interest to you. The people you meet here may seem eccentric, naive, or even somewhat deranged. Please take it easy on us. Don't judge us too strictly. I will do my best not to disappoint you.
If we conquer
How can I
our
help you?
passions, it is more from their weakness than from our strength.
Georgie has told me everything, which is to say, he told me very little, but it was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide a more detailed account. So you have agreed to help us? I have. May I ask why? We share a tragedy. I want to exact vengeance upon the one that robbed me and my work of a future. I am prepared to answer any questions you may have. When was Simon last seen? He sent Isidore home, then, an hour later, he came to this hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus and receive no one. He told us not to approach the Focus and to fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then, in the morning, he was found dead. Why no meat or water? Our explanation is that he wanted to be mourned beforehand, as is the custom with the local people. This is very like him. So he knew in advance that he would die? I think, between me and you, this is precisely what my brother Georgie fears. I can say nothing more about that. How was the body discovered? The servants discovered him in the morning. The room had been ransacked. Everything that was breakable had been broken. His disfigured, contorted body bore signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine broken, I think. No one has touched the body. It is currently inside the Focus and will remain there for the prescribed amount of time. What's this Focus place? It's hard to explain. It's his study, if you will, an extraordinarily spacious creative laboratory, almost perfectly sealed off, except for the door that was visible at all times. Metaphorically speaking, I don't understand. It's like an equation, or a mirror puzzle. Anyway, the murderer could not have been hiding there. Take my word for it. Well, Simon did get in there somehow. He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why the whole town revered him. Alright, so how can I help you? Just take a look around, trust your intuition, do whatever you like, speak to whoever you feel the need to. Look for the murderer, Doctor, and you will find them. I keep almost saying mortarer, it's really bad.
Mortarer.
Keep looking to the last breath. I'm sure your rational thinking will help you. So, Isidore is the only lead. How can I find him? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, could not be an ordinary person. I can't imagine them even being a person. I fear it could only be fate, or in the guise of a mysterious monster. I don't believe in fate. Alright, let's go. That's all the way across the town. Let's fucking... I guess let's check with... Let's talk to Eva first. She said she wanted me to talk to her after...
Yeah.
That. And she's on the way anyway, so...
Hey.
I do enjoy, like, she earlier asked us to go investigate some noises for her, and we just said, no, we're, like, too busy doing, big, important doctor stuff. So we're going to ignore you and go do that. Bye.
A little bit rude.
Yeah.
A little bit?
But we are in a hurry. Don't you see? It's very important. All these conversations.
I had a feeling
very
you would
vital
come.
information.
That ominous singing outside the window is gnawing at me. Who could be singing at a time like this? Very little time has passed, but I feel hungry and exhausted again. Since you've decided to
God, same.
She's like, God, this is awful. Can someone please stop the singing? Hello, Bachelor, can you help? And he's just like, man, I'm so hungry and tired. Since you've decided to fight death, you will have to be very careful. It's September. You'll be dying with every breath of our air.
What?
Regular
I'm trying to
weather.
decide.
Yeah, all of these options are just so much.
What does September have to do with it?
I'm just gonna go with the wildest one. We are all dying with every second of our life. It's exactly this annoying phenomenon that I have challenged. But since you've heard of Thanatica's achievements, I'm not going to waste your time monologuing. You got me wrong. You will be dying much faster than the capital. Your body is wasting away just as fast as a boat sinks, with its hold full of water. Breathe in this air. Can you feel it? But why? The steppe is full of various herbs. They fill the air with dizzying vapors. White-whipped, twirans, however, are dangerous in August, September, when herbs surrender their juices to the sun. People tend to get headaches this time of year. Heart sufferers lie in bed with pains. My heart aches too. How do you people live here? Damn, you live like this? Twire is a rare herb, so usually it's bearable, but this year it's unbelievably plentiful. The elderly say this is phenomenal, nothing like this has happened before. They think it's a bad omen. Well, I don't believe that, but the air is droning, can't you feel it? Don't you feel dizzy? Yes, the air is heavy. You need to sleep often, never go hungry, drink more water. You need to look after yourself properly. If you feel sick,
Practice self-care.
If you feel sick, forget everything else and get some rest. Otherwise, you may die of a heart attack or bleeding. Be careful, alright? The more I think and do, the faster I die. That's symbolism if I ever saw it.
Yeah. Basically.
I don't know if there's anything else.
Don't you?
I think it's so cool how they added a heart attack mechanic in this game. Like, that's incredible.
It's like,
so realistic.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Ah,
Like,
fuck
it
yeah.
Like as far as I see it, like this is a pretty accurate representation of like what it's like to just live on Earth,
Yeah,
Damn, I missed that.
but yeah,
having to deal with rich people monologuing like an asshole, dying.
just another Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, fuck. I got
yeah,
caught in some of the
as you
geometry
said-
of this fucking game.
Yeah,
Oops, wrong way. If you
as she said,
Yeah.
so basically, you know, in real life, you can go a pretty long time without sleep, food, all of that. I mean, it's not good for you, but you won't drop dead. In this game, you will drop dead, and they only have like a 12-day long game, so I wanted an excuse to make you drop dead that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucked up air is causing me physical damage.
I mean, it happens.
The fucked up people is causing me psychic damage.
You
Yeah,
get double the damage
So
for half
basically,
the price.
yeah.
Hey.
Good. Mhm.
And that's Pathologic, baby.
No, that's slightly inaccurate. You get double the damage for 4 times the price.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, nothing in this game is free. So I'll just say that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and as you can see, as Ken is doing right now, like, you're gonna be wanting to dig in bins a lot. Like, it's just needed. You know, you might be a doctor, you might be some posh guy from the capital. You will still need to, like, dig through trash for stuff.
Like Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
Pathologic is truly the Stardew Valley of video games.
Let's get
Yeah,
some
see, now
water.
that's
more-
accurate.
It's more Stardew Valley than Stardew Valley.
Yeah, exactly. People
Where
compare
are
this
the
game
romance
to-
options?
The Stardew
I
Valley.
I wish there weren't. There aren't. There are romantic, like, plot lines, like, kind of hinted at, and not. I say hinted at, I'm being way too generous. They're shoved in your face.
No.
Oh, jeez.
I would not say that there's actual romance options, but I think Daniil's route is especially bad with this.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's what we're starting with.
It's basically every conversation with Eva and Maria is a little bit weird. Especially Eva.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, unfortunately, this game was made with the intent that you're gonna be like, yeah, Daniil and Eva? Daniil and Maria?
Sure.
I love
Yeah.
heterosexuality. Only ship I ship is Daniil and being 6 feet under.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
totally true. Yeah.
It'd be really funny. I feel like people who are watching this who don't know anything about the game are gonna be like, why are you being so rough on Daniil? Like, he's kind of a
Man,
asshole, but
like he's just a doctor. What are you doing?
we can't avoid saying bad things about him, and you'll know why.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think that, like, I kind of feel like even if you're totally new to Pathologic, just from what you got, like, earlier with how he's talking to people, yeah, I feel like that's already kind of earned some of this.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how ferocious Mother Nature is, for 'tis her wrath that has to be withstood. Oh, friend, if only I could wet my whistle, I'll gladly give you anything on earth in exchange for a gulp of chilly spring water.
Her rat?
How about we
Her
barter? A rat.
Her rat?
Huh? How about we barter?
Mother Nature's rat.
Mother Nature's rat. We're already getting rats. But that'll be more later.
Already?
So
Oh,
soon.
this guy's face, though.
He's a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know. How about we barter? You'll have your water, and I'll have bandages. Oh, you don't have a bandage. You have tourniquets. Are like they feel like they're less effective than bandages. So I'm not gonna get that. I'll just wait. It's fine for now.
Yeah, might as well wait for someone who does do bandages. Okay, but the thing is, to me, like, tourniquets seem like such a bad option. Like,
Yeah.
what you do is that you use. Okay, the thing is, like, I have no idea how a tourniquet is supposed to like help you with your health in any way, because now I'm no medical expert, but to my knowledge, the only times I've seen or heard of tourniquets being used is that you might tie off your arm to get a blood sample or to inject something into, like, yeah, for a blood sample basically. Or you might use it when amputating a limb.
Yeah.
That neither of which would be ideal in this situation if you're, like, say, bleeding out.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that anything makes much more sense when you actually think about it. Like, if you can't use a bandage on your hunger, which you'll have because you'll be starving. Ah, fuck, I hate how hard it is to get to Simon's door for some reason. You have to go all the way around. I mean, you can get like hunger pain, and you just put a bandage on, slap that thing on. Suddenly, you're fine for a little bit longer. It's like just like
placebo effects. That's how it works.
It just works like that. It just works.
Just works.
No, wait, I got it. What you're doing is you're eating the bandage.
Tasty.
Exactly.
It's just getting some fiber in your diet.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it works, it works.
But yeah, like, this game is very much so about holding yourself together only barely.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like, we've already mentioned bandages and tourniquets, but another, like, healing item in this game is painkillers. Painkillers don't fix anything.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do then?
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on the painkiller. I mean, like, they're to stop pain, obviously, but in some cases they can, like, reduce swelling and inflammation. But yeah, obviously their primary use is obviously to reduce pain. It's not really about fixing yourself, it's about, like, just staying on your feet longer.
Yeah. As you can see from me walking all around, I keep forgetting how to get here most effectively.
Yeah.
It's weirdly placed. A foul murder occurred here this night. No unauthorized access allowed. Inspecting the crime scene is strictly forbidden until further notice. Who was killed? Well, you're not a local, sir, so you're unlikely to understand the loss we've suffered. Isidore Barak, a great surgeon, a benefactor to us all, and an all-around skilled doc, an outstanding man, beloved and well-respected by us locals. Does it really always have to take the very best? What a foul time to live in. I knew him. I'm a doctor, too. Whoever killed our only doc must surely be looking to get us all killed. Isidore could cure anything. He also knew how to make cuts or incisions because he was a warden. He knew his lines all right. Like I said, it all makes sense. Whoever killed Simon took Isidore's life, too. This is merely the beginning. What makes you think the two cases are connected? Well, who would have the heart to attack such men? If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have told you that no one would dare inflict such an ugly wound on this town. But if there is someone, it has to be just that, someone. Although it looks fishy if you ask me, the thing was no man, that's what I think. Explain yourself. See, this murderous deal is all mysterious. There was a talon stuck in the victim's chest. Go ahead, bend your arm at the elbow, good sir. Yeah, like that, there you go. That's how long it was. It broke off. There was dust on the floor, for the deceased had been a renowned step walker, and the dust was all covered in hoof steps, and like traces of a sharp bone, I guess? As if someone was using a walking stick around there. I'm telling you, it's her, the Shabnagadir, the clay man-eater. I want to inspect the building. We've been assigned to this post by Alexander, the head of the Saburov family. His house is in decline right now, but it's still powerful and very much respected. For it is they that's been responsible for maintaining worldly order and public safety in the town since olden days. Please kindly address your concerns to him. There's their rod. You just take that road up there and get to the Cape. As for me, I'm not authorized to let you in. You should have said so from the start. Wait, I'm gonna walk this way real quick. What's this rock over here? There's a fire over here. I wonder what... Ah!
Oh, jeez.
Well, this isn't good.
Oops.
Ooh. Not great.
Yeah.
I'm so far behind.
No.
I like have
No.
no idea what you're even talking about.
Hey.
Ah. No. No. Ah.
Unfortunately.
Sorry, it's so behind. It's so annoying. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, what have you done? How was it? That was no Shabnak, that was a girl. A living girl. Hope you'll... This is such a mean option, but I guess it's fair. Get lost and never set foot here again. It's not totally unfair.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I honestly think that's fair. I mean, this person like participated in the murder of that woman.
Yeah. You know, usually, I feel like the only thing that like you can somewhat like The Bachelor is usually awful. We all know. We've talked about it before. But like, I guess at least the one thing that you can usually feel like, I don't know, an understanding with him is when he like gets mad at these things that people do. Like, I feel like the way he's bad is that a certain disregard for like things, but he does have like an idea of what's wrong to an extent, and he does.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
when he gets mad at things like that, you can't help but like be like, yeah. That was fucking awful, and I feel like I should attack that person in the street.
Yeah, basically.
Which I guess is the only
like,
reason I understand when people like The Bachelor slightly. Like if they ignore everything else, I guess you can kind of like him on that level. I don't know. I try to understand why people like certain characters, and like I don't get it, but like I do get that part, I guess.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
like-
Petal Brain.
Hi.
Yeah, see ya.
I will restore the order.
See you later.
Rest
It
assured.
should be recorded so you can watch it later.
Nice.
So, I finally get to see you. Yes, you really do look like a messenger of sorrowful times. In any case, welcome to the Rod. Our meeting is quite significant in a way. Facing the changes with open eyes and taking their first blow is my duty. Do you think we're on the verge of an especially unhappy era? No grim events have clouded our existence since last summer. The country has cured its war wounds. Commercial communications have been repaired. Astrologists expect nothing ill. Do you hold astrologists' opinion in high regard? This is so funny. It's one of the ones where he doesn't even disagree with it exactly. He's like, sometimes I agree with astrologists. The movement of the planets.
Yeah, like the thing is,
Yeah.
the thing is that like with.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. I'll just
So
finish
you
this
can
up.
go on.
The movement
Like,
of the planets has an obvious effect on our life. However, I do not think it's humanly possible to gain any profit from that. Okay, you can
The
continue,
outcome was
sorry.
to be expected, I'm afraid.
No, yeah, I'm
Simon
sorry.
was doomed.
Basically,
good.
what I was gonna say is that it's like interesting that he's a very science man, but you know, none of his options here say flat out, no, I think astrology is like wrong or anything like that.
Like, astrology makes no sense, it's never right. He's like, you know, planets, the way they move, I think that, like, causes people to feel certain ways, and, like, sometimes it's true, but, you know, I guess it's not useful day to day.
That's
Yeah.
so
Real-
funny.
He got really into astrology back in college. And like, he doesn't want anyone to know about it. Like,
Yeah.
I should keep that on the down low.
There's like one other thing I want to point out too.
Yeah?
As you can see, this guy, Alexander Sabudov, the first thing he says to Daniel is that, yeah, you sure look like a messenger of sorrowful times. Like,
That's so funny.
yeah.
Oh my god.
You've got a fucked up face, dude. I feel like things are gonna go really bad soon.
God, it really is your fault. You're so ugly.
So your vibes are rancid.
I mean, look at what Georgi was saying earlier. Like, you know, everything here is on your account.
When your ugly mug
Get him.
moved here, that's when everything went downhill.
So you've come to meet with Simon, haven't you? What can I do for you now? I was actually invited by Isidore, so I came to meet with him first and foremost. But now it turns out that he's been murdered, yes. Looks like the murderer is always one step ahead of you, doesn't it? The same one that took Simon's life, too. At least that's the conclusion suggested by the information at my disposal. Same pattern, same signature. So, who did it? You wouldn't believe it. His own son. The fellow came back after being away for quite a while. His father had sent him to study surgery when he was but a greenhorn. Quite a lot he has learnt, huh? A wandering scholar turned evil to the bone. All of that just to grab the inheritance. So what, did Isidore leave a fortune? I have no idea yet. His belongings are being evaluated as we speak. It's not about money, though. The steppes people idea of heirship still comes with those ancient connotations. Tribal ethics. The next of kin not only inherits things, they inherit knowledge, fate, power. Such motive is incompatible with a student of medicine in my mind. It's in their blood. Oh well, the outlaw will show his true colors soon enough when you catch him. Explain the motive himself. How did you find him? In all honesty, it's hard to explain that to an outsider like you. Do you believe in such a thing as clairvoyance, Bachelor? No. Well, you should get to know my wife then. Or, better yet, those who have already had opportunities to witness the power of her prophecies. Former doubters first and foremost. Rationalists. She's got something to say to you too, by the way. So, your wife called out Isidore's son specifically? Not specifically, no. But it all adds up, and the circumstances of Simon's death make you wonder too. Isidore's son arrived here last night. The timing speaks against him. It even matches the time it takes to get from the Crucible to Isidore's house. That's not enough. I'll have to take the investigation into my own hands. Is there anyone who can be of help to me apart from your wife? There are very few good analysts in our town. Everyone is more or less superstitious here, except for one Yulia Luracheva, perhaps a most level-headed and reasonable person. The only person to remain skeptical about Katerina's talents, too. Without a shadow of a doubt, she has her own pictures of events. She always does. What is this Yulia? She came here with an engineering team when the town was being rebuilt. Did logistics or maybe communications, not sure. They said she's a true expert in her field. Smart, yes, a polymath. Then the team left, but she stayed. She has my respect, but not my fondness. Very well. I'll speak to this Yulia.
Yeah, so as you can see, we're being introduced to every major character on the first day, essentially. Like, material. Talk to this guy, he sends us to Katerina and also Yulia.
Nice.
You're gonna see Yulia after talking to Katerina. I feel like I made a post about this, but I think what's interesting to me about the rod is how, like, Katerina's section of the house has this, like, big, like,
only in
stairway up to it and everything, but the entrance to Alexander's part of it is just, like, this door set in the side with, like, nothing, like, indicating there's anything there. I don't know. It's such a weird, like, but Katerina's part of it is, like, so small compared to Alexander's. I don't know. It was something I was thinking about, because, like, there's a lot of architecture stuff, and, like, the way buildings are in this game that have, like, meaning. I don't know. It's not something I'm used to thinking about very hard, because I'm not, like, an architect, but I think it's really interesting to, like, look at. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. There is definitely a lot of care put in this game with regards to that kind of thing. Like, you see it here, you see it in other places too. I mean, you guys will see what I'm talking about later, but architecture is a thing in this game.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah. The only proper way for a duel to end is with the death of one of the fighters. That's what battles are supposed to be. Any conflict that has two sides inevitably turns into a battle of good and evil. Why are you telling me this? I'm not speaking metaphorically or metaphysically. I'm talking about a very particular battle. You are one of the combatants, Bachelor Dankovsky. Do you favor good or evil? I favor winning. Spoken like a true warrior. I truly wish you victory, Bachelor, even though I doubt there can be a victory at all in this battle. You are very kind.
Yes.
You are a brave man, Bachelor Dankovsky. Why? This fight is very unlikely to end in your favor. Does a clay and bone man-eater leave traces of the kind you've witnessed? It's only a spell, an illusion. They just prefer to see it this way. It makes it easier for them. A fight is too big a word. I'm merely assisting Georgie in his efforts to find the murderer. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you will have to fight to the death. Even if it were a metaphor, the ending is still unambiguous. If you don't find out what happened before nightfall, you will die. How do you know all this? I'm clairvoyant. What's the nature of your visions? This should not be your primary concern at the moment. You should concern yourself with the number of minutes you have left. And that number is dwindling. I don't throw predictions around. Others will tell you how often they've come true. Do heed my words. Fine. Well, that was ominous. Thank you.
Yeah, basically.
Why are you asking stupid questions?
Just go. Just walk. You only have so many
Just
minutes
do
in a
it.
day.
I mean,
gonna
she's
die.
right. You only do have.
Oh, it's raining. That's
You really do only have so much time in the day, and that's all. She is right, though. It's
yeah.
very, very bad if you can't, like, get at least, like, a starting idea of what's going on here.
Yeah.
On the I won't necessarily say you'll die if you don't, but you won't have a good time. It's gonna make things very hard.
Yeah. You definitely have to focus on the main quests and getting those done, or you'll be fucked.
Pretty much.
And also, you'll be fucked if you don't go fast enough to get stuff that you need to not die.
And you will also die if you're too busy doing quests to take care of your basic needs. So basically, you're fucked.
Yeah, this day is basically the only time I'll actually stop to look at things specifically. Otherwise, I'm just gonna walk past
This
all of
girl
them.
is a changeling.
Yeah.
She's not the murderer.
Well,
No, enjoy this while it
you
lasts.
should be walking past it. Well, yeah.
This is Yulia. She's gay. This is a thing.
Nice.
It's pretty unambiguous sometimes. Yeah.
It's very important that you know this. Like,
I'm so glad.
I'm not saying that jokingly. I'm saying that
Yeah.
it is important.
Yeah. Like
I'm glad that
Yeah.
like if there's one thing I should remember about Pathologic it's that Yulia is gay. Like
Yeah.
I think that's incredibly important.
Yeah, that's what you should take away from this stream. Yulia is gay.
Okay. Yulia is gay. Nice. Let's go.
Let's talk to her. I like her a lot. She's one of my favorite characters. I seem to have lost any capacity for observation. My mind is out of tune. Things no longer add up. Before, I had no trouble forming a trustworthy tessellation out of the most imperceptible contingencies. Now, I simply cannot get my head around it. Could it be that I'm dying? The steppe air is way too thick. I think that's what causes it. Oh no, Herbativiriana is in blossom, I grant you, but then it blooms every year. Every year the steppe is filled with its stupefying vapors. The issue I'm having, however, has nothing to do with fatigue or perplexity. It is just that I've lost my ability to make distinctive events coincide. Everyone has that ability. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. Let me elucidate. A single word someone utters may precipitate the birth of their own murderer. This line of philosophizing is barely an intellectual novelty. It is particularly relevant in our neck of the woods. I sometimes feel like I could touch the notions of cause and effect with the tips of my fingers. But now I'm being tedious, I reckon. Not at all.
My chest seems to be filled with cotton wool.
So, you have traveled all the way here only to find that both people you wanted to see were brutally murdered? Is this how the story goes? I do hope that your visit is not in any way related to those most unfortunate circumstances. You know, there are more important things, but I do want to ask this. Do you like Eva Yan? Very much. It wouldn't be much of a stretch to say, I absolutely admire her. Weird, I expect you have a different opinion of her. She dons the mask of absent-minded promiscuity, but this pose has nothing to do with what she really is. I'd be happy to be friends with her, but she does not understand me, and rightfully so, considering her eminence. I can't believe my ears. Sooner or later, a fervent believer may emerge from within her, dissolving her completely in the object of her adoration, after which she will probably kill herself, but I'd rather talk no more of that. Alright, let's actually get to the good conversation.
This girl is a
The main
changeling.
conversation.
She's not the
Yeah.
murderer.
That was a very important, like,
Which is basically
side
like,
note,
I
though.
absolutely admire her. I'd love to be her friend, but I also feel like she's gonna die soon, so it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. It is very sweet how much she cares for her.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me feel a lot. So you've tried. Oh, I already read that. I have to find whoever it is that killed Isidore and Simon. I wanted to ask for your help. Savarov told me you have a gift for all manner of investigative inquiry. I am certainly no better investigator than you. I never had a chance to search for a murderer before. The best I can offer is to fill in the blanks with whatever mysterious supernatural entities seem most fitting. Shabnakadir is a simple man's scarecrow. I would have followed a different narrative. What kind of narrative? Consider the circumstances of his death. They said Simon had locked himself up in the evening, and consequently died in the morning inside of the mansion, in a chamber with some peculiar name. In this case, I would suggest that Simon was poisoned. By the Kanes, I would have thought, but I know their family all too well. Their mutual loyalty is only rivaled by their arrogance towards anyone who is not one of them. They hold the princely sage who stands at the head of their family in highest esteem. They believe that a single dishonorable act will tarnish their name for generations to come. I doubt any of them would have stooped to this, no matter whether they wanted to or not. Poisoned? How did you arrive at this conclusion? I don't believe you understand what "he died in the focus" really implies. Do you know what the Kanes refer to as focus? You don't seem to grasp the semantics of the term. These are the Kanes for you. These kinds of innuendos are their forte. Well, what is this focus, then? The focus is anything but an abstraction. Quite the opposite, in fact. It is governed by mathematically rigid regularities. You see, no one but the owner of a focus may get inside. This can only mean that Simon had brought the killer with him. Or rather, within him, since no physical object may be brought into focus either. How do you know that? Who doesn't? The Kanes are notoriously passionate about all manner of synthetic anomalies. They will never pass up the opportunity to devise a Kunststück that would allow them to warp space, challenge physics, or manipulate optics. Metaphysically, a focus can be compared to a camera obscura. Do note that the name is not unfitting. No, it is entirely impossible for someone to get inside. Curious conclusion, but an incorrect one. Simon was disfigured and bleeding. His bones were broken. Is that so? Well, this does introduce a different perspective. Did you say Isidore was the last person to see Simon? The question is, who did he see before? The sun had not yet set when Isidore returned from the steppe. However, he came to Simon well after midnight. The question naturally arises, where did he spend the missing few hours? That is why I'm trying to trace Isidore's steps. I want to walk the same route. Don't get me wrong, though. Was Isidore seen with Savarov by any chance? He was. He warned Savarov of an upcoming storm. Alright, let me suggest then that while he was in the steppe, he saw or learned something that he wanted to report to all three ruling families. In this case, either of the Ogimsky family should have been on his itinerary, especially since Barak was one of their own men. Really? Definitely. The Bull project, from the abattoir to the railway, is controlled by the Ogimsky family. If Isidore's discovery had anything at all to do with the kin, Isidore would have certainly relayed it to Vlad. So do make sure to pay a visit to the lump. That's the name... Sorry. That's the name of the Ogimsky mansion. Another fitting name, wouldn't you agree? Thank you, Yulia. What would I do without you?
The lump.
The lump.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you can see why I like her. She's just like... Bachelor's like, what's this? And it's like, you don't get it. I'm trying to explain it to you, dum-dum. Listen better.
And it's like kind of funny because Daniela is very of the opinion that Yulia is his equal, like mentally. She's really not though. She's a lot smarter than him.
It's true. Okay, I'm on the wrong one. But yeah. I do like her a lot, and I still have to play Clara's route so I can see more of her, because I know
oh
she's
boy.
important in that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. I know I said I wouldn't like spoil things.
You wouldn't spoil?
Yeah, but I do want to say the line that I'm pretty sure in that route, someone says that Yulia has the hooks to Eva's heart, which is very gay, as you can tell.
That's gay as hell.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's very gay. That's very gay.
Good for her.
That's... I
But
didn't walk
yeah,
the floor
like-
before. That's the theater over there.
In the different routes, there are certain characters who will be more important than others. As Ken mentioned earlier, in Daniil's route, the Canes have a very large role. And yeah, then we'll see more of Yulia in basically every route, but her route is particularly Clara's.
That's neat.
This game has a very interesting structure with the 3 different viewpoint characters, all going through 3 simultaneous stories.
Yeah.
There was actually also something I wanted to point out about her dialogue earlier. She mentions that if whatever this is, whatever Isidore found in the steppe had to do with the kin, he would report it directly to the Oginskis. We'll talk to them soon, but that's just...
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah. This is one of the Olgimskis. Ah, Bachelor Dankovsky, of course. Who else could be so dapper? I've heard quite a lot about you. Have you taken a look around? Be sure to check the state of the industry around here. We have our own ways. How curious, and what is the current state of your industry? Come now. It's a complicated establishment with 1,000 years of history. A special approach is required to control such a colossus. See where I'm getting at, emissary? It would be pointless to object. I can see we're not really seeing eye to eye. The project is special, very special. That means common standards do not apply here. That'd be very naive. We'll come back to that.
No.
We'll come back to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Getting everything back on track won't be an easy task. I'd like to inquire about the fate of my colleague, Isidore Barak, and the manner of his death, to be precise. What are you implying? What is this manner you're talking about? Be so kind as to mind your own manners. I had nothing to do with it. Don't they say Isidore was murdered by a steppe demon? A Shabnakadir? There was that thingy, a talon they fished out from the wound. I can take this from kids and weirdos, but you, a respectable negotiant? It's hard for you to believe, isn't it? It used to be hard for many. Take my boy, for example. A scoffer if I've ever seen one. And now even he believes it's real. He went off his head a bit. You're in the steppe now, esteemed sir. Eastern and backwards. The dead rise from their graves here. Clay dummies dance, and bulls talk. Does he know the steppe well, that son of yours? He rubs elbows with the rabble, the butchers, odong, shepherds and gatherers, learns their tongue, collects their legends. He doesn't keep them in check at all. They even dare to come visit him within the premises of the town. If you see a worm creeping through the streets, he's definitely looking for my son. What's wrong with him visiting him within the premises of the town? They're dangerous, they're aggressive, and they hate everyone who isn't a steppe person. They'll jump you and kill you on the spot. They'll tear you up with their teeth and devour your flesh while you're still throwing fists at them. So if they're spotted within the town, countermeasures are taken. So what of your son? Perhaps he could tell me more about this creature? Hold your horses. You want to talk to my blockhead? No, you have nothing to talk about. He's not here, thankfully. I don't want you two to meet. You heard me? These are tradesmen's words. I'll stick to them. I won't leave it at that. As you can see, the racism is very apparent very early on.
Yikes.
It's a lot.
It's quite virulent, yeah.
And there's the worm.
But
You
yeah,
have to
as you
follow
can
him.
see, this is what I...
Technically, I mean, I technically have to follow him, but I already know where the thing is, so I'll just go ahead of him. Because, funny story, when I first started to play this game and I played the Bachelor's route, I knew that I should probably follow that worm, and so I followed him, and then I got to Vlad's, and then he turned around and attacked me, and I died.
Oh.
He's like,
no.
why the fuck is this weirdo following me? I'm gonna kill you.
But yeah, like something like, you know, as Vlad is saying all this really like awful stuff about the kin, about these worms, about steppe people. It's quite an interesting choice, I will say, that Julia is so of the conviction that if there was anything that Isidore found in the steppe which is related to the kin, he would report it to him, that guy.
Yeah. It's...
And, yeah. Isidore was a respected member of the kin, too, and there's kind of this, I won't mention too much about the other roots, but it's kind of this tension there. On one hand, he is a respected leader among the kin. As was mentioned earlier, he is a warden.
Ah, fuck, he's coming to
But at the same time, he's quite clearly Ogimski's man.
Oops. There's a visible wall, I hate that. Let's just run. I think I have time to run around a little bit more. Get out of the way, I don't want to be killed.
Are there like...
Yeah, that's not really something the game itself ever really acknowledges.
Yeah. It's a little, yeah. It's really funny that you're getting chased and you're just walking at this pace. That's so funny.
Yeah, you can't run, and that includes not running from people who might kill you.
Hey dude, this is the other Ogimski.
It is easier to govern others than to prevent being governed.
You found me here. Oh well, I'm not surprised. I suppose you're not too surprised by the fact that everyone knows about you, either. The rumor of your arrival spread like fire. Why have you come? I've come for some sightseeing. There was a peculiar incident yesterday by the spleen. The children were playing in the mud as usual, but then suddenly they ran away from the sandbox, and the parents noticed that their hands were smothered in blood. However, none of them were wounded. Neither were any of them surprised. What's the solution to the puzzle? When the worried adults came to the place where the children had been playing, they found nothing unusual there. Only sticks and stones. What do you make of it? Ah, nothing special. They probably dug out a dead cat. Nice to meet a person of a skeptical mind. I'm Vladislav Ogimski, the younger one, of course. And you are, of course, Daniel Dankovsky. Yes, that is me. Bachelor, I have news for you that should prove to be of interest. You seem to be looking for the killer, right? I'm listening. I'll have to briefly explain a few things to you. Have you already been told what the termitary is? No, I haven't. The termitary is a huge bunkhouse where the Bulb Project workers live, although living is the wrong term for it. They nest. Their nesting is a commune with a rather simple way of life. It could without reservation be called savage. And... let's get to the point then. A case of pointless, aimless unrest has occurred in that hive mind's nest. Yeah, it's not good. The workers there are prone to lashing out from time to time, like beasts frightened by a storm. They rage, they howl, they gnaw at one another, the unsightly image of a mass uprising. Oh, what does this have to do with Simon's murder? Riots occurred in the termitary several times before. The mob goes crazy for a few days, and then they calm down just as unexpectedly. All of them at once. The sudden calm is just as void of reason as the unrest that had set them agog previously. Having a certain experience with the kin, we simply block the entrance to the zoo off until the riot defeats itself. And we usually lock them up beforehand. The evidence of an oncoming outbreak of mass lunacy becomes obvious in advance, and the termitory's Father Superior informs us of it. But Father Taichik has recently passed. A curious coincidence, don't you think? Mass anarchy. Anyway, a number of the kin managed to run off into the town while we were busy taking measures. How did he die? How should I know? A disease, most likely, or an accident or something. That is besides the subject at hand. What is the subject, then? I think you and I can help each other, Doctor. You were looking for the killer, and I'm sure it is a runaway butcher. The title of a half-man suits him very nicely. The Canes claim that Simon had not been killed by a human hand, don't they? And our family doesn't need unnecessary unrest in the town. This butcher can babble devil knows what. His mind is most likely clouded with insane ideas. So you'd rather he kept mum about what is happening inside? You are correct. They barely know how to speak, but that only makes it worse. Half man, half beast. If they start preaching, you feel as though you've encountered a doomsayer. I need this butcher to disappear. Hand him over to the Canes or simply kill him if the beast attacks you. The reward will be hefty. Very well, I'll look into this. Where can I find him? He's most likely being harbored in a suspicious house. That's in the crude sprawl. Yes, my father is a man of rather hard-handed disposition, and quick-tempered to boot. If he finds out the crude sprawl is concealing a fugitive, he will make a mess. Pointless brutality serves no one. I'm looking for peace rather than blood, I'm telling you. I'll do my best to make sure you're right. Show me the house. Alright.
Yeah, so that was a lot.
Yeah.
I want to eviscerate this man.
Yeah.
If you don't want
Like,
to
I
eviscerate
think that,
Vlad Jr., I don't know the
yeah. Like,
I
basically,
am the
like,
half man, half beast who's going to know it.
Yeah.
but yeah, so like,
Not. Wait. Do we know? Do we know he's racist and not just furry phobic?
Oh, he's pretty racist.
Okay.
He's very, very racist. Just deeply racist. And it's funny that he's the one that's like, no, I like Ken. I think they're interesting. I think they're freaks. I'm cool.
God.
but yeah.
Man.
Racist and furry phobic. Okay.
Anyway, so like, yeah, it's kind of interesting though. Like he's insisting a lot about how, you know, whoever this butcher is, he must be like, you know, babbling, not really saying anything useful, and he wants you to kill that guy to shut him up.
Yeah.
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 Really makes you think, huh?
Incredible.
Yeah. I will say that, like, I do take my issues with this game and its writing of the kin. At the same time, on some level, it is trying to, like, you know, this racism is here, and not all of it is examined, but some of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, not to, yeah, just basically, like, you kind of have to pay attention when people are talking to you, because it's not as though everyone is necessarily telling the truth. It's not as though everyone necessarily has good intentions. You really, in this game, want to make your own judgments.
Yeah. Basically, everyone's trying to get something out of you, and you can't just take what they say at face value. There's usually something of what they say that's true, though, in that it says something about them that you should probably take seriously.
For sure. Like, you know, as just said about him, he goes on his whole tangent about, you know, how these people are not really human. He actually dwells on it for a very long time. And then what he does is that he asks you to kill one of them to prevent them from talking about something.
Yikes.
Yeah. Big yikes.
Our dear friend in the Discord server said, Big Vlad, we don't see eye to eye. Me, yeah, Daniel can't look anyone in the eye because he's too short.
Everyone's so fucking to him.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to see Ruben. Ruben's so fucked up tall and Daniel's so short, it's like... it's so funny.
You know, there is one thing about Daniel. His manlet representation that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
He's 5'2", so, like, you know, he actually is short and not just, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy
So, like, if
God.
everyone looks taller than
Holy
him,
God.
that's why. He's only 5'2".
Holy God. 5'2".
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of looking up in this game.
Yeah.
In this route, at least. Artemi is a bit taller, and then Clara is, of course, the shortest one, but You know,
is
she's
baby.
like 12. She has an
Why does
excuse.
the termitary
Yeah.
speak out? What are they
Like
celebrating?
Danielle, though. Danielle has no excuses.
Hello, Saba.
I'm remembering that one post where it's like, anyone else like remember anyone else hate being under 5 feet, and then someone else said, yeah, I remember back in 4th grade I couldn't reach nothing.
Alright, this is Saba Otun. You learn, like, way later into the game than you probably should that her name isn't Aspity, and that's just, like, a bastardization of her name. It's kind of a weird thing that she gets called Aspity by everybody on the. But I guess that's just, like,
Ooh.
that's the thing in the game. But yeah, her name's Saba Otun. I can't remember. She's called a couple different things by the kid. Yeah, and she's mean, and she's valid for being mean.
Yeah.
Do you know where to find? Yeah. Do you know where to find
She's my
clean water?
favorite.
Clean water around here? Fresh water must be plentiful in this place. There's a river close by. All that water comes from the steppe, and it isn't exactly clean. Yesterday I inspected all the springs in the area. There seems to be no more clean water around. That salty taste is everywhere. It's reddish in color, and there are disgusting clots in it. Where can I find clean water then?
Ew.
The townsfolk store clean water in homemade reservoirs. This modest supply should be enough to last us a little while, but afterwards we'll have to drink that bloody mixture. How disgusting.
Lies always turn out to be true. Don't mess with Earth.
What do you want, I wonder? There's a runaway hiding here. Take me to him. Why would I? He's in danger. I'm here to help. He's a butcher. He won't talk to you. You wouldn't understand him. He's been here for more than a day, but even I can't get him to talk. It is I who'd rather tell you something. What do you want to tell me? Big Vlad has plugged the termitary up for a reason. The butcher's mumbling is all over the place, but if you listen carefully, you'll make out tales of such horrors that I get shivers all over. Thousands of people have lost their minds all at once there. Many have died. Something's brewing inside. Can you lead the runaway out of town? Really? Why? Here he's entertaining me, and it's dangerous to go out into the steppe anyway. What if his pursuers rip me apart in the street? What if they think I'm a Shabnakadir? What can you offer me in return for this service? Lead him out or he'll get killed. You can show me the door if you want, but thugs for hire will be less compliant. Or I could ask, what do you want? I think I'll ask a small favor from you in 4 days. Don't worry, you won't have to cut your arm off. Will you do it? I will. Fine, I'll take care of the butcher. He'll disappear. Consider him non-existent. But now you must leave. Don't try watching the door. You won't see anything anyway. And tell the Ogimski's thick-headed bloodhounds that they have no business here. I harbor no killers. Deal. I'm definitely not going to. I was trying to avoid actually making an option where I had to talk to him, because you can't talk to the butcher. He's just like, he's not doing well, and he will attack you if you, because you try to talk to him, he talks in his language, and the Bachelor is like an asshole, and then he attacks you. So,
Yeah.
and you have to like run out or kill him, and it's not good either way, so I'm just like, not gonna do that.
It's not great. It's not great.
Fuck, what was I doing next? I hate them when I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. There it is.
You were looking up. You were looking up.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, it's like... Actually, this is kind of interesting. Thousands of people losing their minds all at once.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's certainly far more sympathetic to the people than, you know, say, Vlad the Elder or younger are.
Yeah. So I didn't check these before. These are the quests.
Oh, bye, Mel.
Oh yeah, by Mel. Version, the beast, like, fugitive. The younger Ogimski exhibits a generally traditional kind of filial piety, or is he pursuing some project of his own? One way or another, he is determined to get rid of the beast-like troublemaker. I wonder what a creature whose death has no legal consequences looks like. Killing people serves no purpose, even if it is requested by someone who belongs to a family in power. So this is one of the things where, like, you can make your own, like, decisions about these kinds of things, but at the end of the day, these are the Bachelor's actual thoughts, and it's kind of not good.
Oh.
See it. Yeah. Alright, I need to check the main quest since I'm not doing what Vlad wanted. Do I have to talk to Legimsky again? I'm not sure. I'll go talk to Vlad first, I guess. Younger Vlad, tell him, fuck off, I guess.
Nice.
He deserves it.
Yeah. I think that's kind of one of the things I take issue with when people try to make, I've seen, like, posts from people saying, like, the characters are largely up to interpretation because it's specifically, like, there's, like, the play aspect of it, and a lot of the meta stuff, and so, and you can make, like, dialogue option choices, so to them, like, to a certain extent, the character's, like, up to how you want to read them, and, and I guess to, like, one extent or another, that's true, but it's, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like people use that as an excuse to, like, just make them totally out of character, like, just, like, not even the characters they are, because, like, even when you, the player, makes a specific choice about what you're going to do, the character is just away, because they're still, like, a person that has, like, their opinions, and you can't, like, even your choices don't really change, like, what this character is at their core, and I feel like a lot of people just try to, like, make it so that there's just whatever their ideal for the character is, so they're not a bad person or whatever, or like, just like to, I don't know, it happens the most with Daniil, where they're like, see, I can make options where I don't have to kill everybody, where I don't have to kill anybody, or I, like, I don't, like, I'm not mean to people as much, but, like, most of the options are mean, and you probably will have to kill a couple of people, and, like, at the end of the day, you read those, like, quest lines, and it's, like, gives a pretty clear idea of who he actually is, regardless of what you want him to be, and it's just kind of, like, annoying when people, like, try and use that as an excuse to just do whatever with
Katerina
the
thinks
characters,
Claire
just
is
to
a
avoid
messenger from
talking
heaven.
about their flaws, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
for sure, because, you know, the way it feels to me is that if you are so avoidant of this character's flaws, what is there in the character left, then?
Yeah.
You may as well talk about someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's like, as you said, like, there's room for interpretation there. There's not as much room as people give it, though.
Yeah. I just get annoyed, I guess, with people doing specific things with, like, trying to, like, uncharacterize characters. I don't know. But yeah. I think I'm supposed to be talking to him anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
See how it all turns out. I used to keep this place secret, but all these secrets seem so childish now. What do you think about Simon's death? It is known that Simon had limited his social activity just before his departure. He only received 2 visitors. I know nothing of the first, but the second was none other than Isidore Brock. The fact that he was killed the same night makes you think, doesn't it? The killer took out a witness? Or an accomplice. Isidore was a complicated man. Have I told you about his position in the kin? He used to be a very well-respected person there, and I can't say everyone liked it. Oh, what do you mean? Isidore wasn't a doctor. He was more of a herbalist. He never studied medicine. All his recipes were about plants and roots, so to speak. He was knowledgeable, true, a sorcerer, if you will, but a very different one from Simon. An earthen sorcerer. I've never heard that Simon used to be a sorcerer before. This is a lie. Eva said he was a sorcerer earlier, but alright. Simon was a theurgist. Isidore was a witch doctor. And you think Isidore the witch doctor has managed to achieve the unachievable? A possible theory, but rather questionable.
It is easier to govern others than to prevent being governed.
Vlad, now tell me, did Isidore visit you last night? Tell me the truth, please. Yes, Isidore did pay me a visit, but don't ask what we talked about. I have no right to share that with you. Right, I'm going to ask you one more question now. Your answer will determine whether you and I become friends or enemies. Well then, I'd rather be your friend. Go ahead. What did you talk about? Tell me the truth, please. Isidore said, note that I'm merely retelling it secondhand. He said there's an epidemic in the steppe camps. An outbreak of tarbetan, sickness perhaps. The plague, that is. Father had issued an order to lock the dormitory up to prevent the infection from getting in. And what are you so afraid of that you would conceal this? I don't understand. You did the right thing. There's an underlying sensitive family matter here. To cut a long story short, my father would kill me if he found out about the conversation. The unrest in the dormitory, you see. Well, I incited to make father lock it up. He didn't believe Isidore. I see. Now everything makes sense. I'm gonna ask this question too. What do you think was the cause of Simon Kane's death, especially taking into account the fact that Isidore Barak had been his last visitor? We need to warn Reuben. It's very urgent. He's about to examine Simon as soon as the period of time required by the Kanes passes. But where is he? I have no idea. Where is he staying? I don't know. There was a secret dissecting room in one of the warehouses, but no one knows where exactly. He used to live mostly in the steppe, sometimes sleeping in the dormitory or at Lara Rava's shelter. But he's not there, I know that's for sure. He went away to mourn his master. What would you have done if you were him? Away from the Kanes, is it simple? Where do I go? It's, I think it's the Kanes. There's so much dialogue. The investigation of the double murder has introduced a few additional considerations. It is highly possible that Simon died to some unfamiliar disease. Stock Reuben, the town medic, should be warned at once. If he touches the body, he may contract whatever disease still remains there. I gotta run to the Kanes. I think that's where he is. I played the Bachelor. I saw the Bachelor route so long ago I actually can't remember. I think it's the Kanes though.
Looking up.
But yeah. I wish I could hurry faster, but basically, like, there's probably a plague. Isidore probably interacted with people that the plague and knew about it. Then he interacted with Simon, and we have to get to Reuben before he opens a body full of the plague and maybe catches it too.
Sounds like some serious stuff.
And as you can see, I can only walk very slowly towards it. Also, I'm gonna have to buy food at that place soon. Not right now. I think my stats are still fine. Yeah, I'm still not that hungry. Ooh, thunder.
Tell me what you want, and I will tell you who you are.
How many doctors are there in your town? If we exclude Isidore Brock, Stanislav Rubin is the only doctor here. He's the most competent of Isidore's apprentices. The rest are good for nothing, as far as I can tell. They're only capable of distorting the knowledge their teachers trying to pass to them. Do you trust this Rubin? I would trust Rubin with my life. A competent medic of remarkable courage and laudable integrity. Everything he does is done with appropriate diligence and care. He doesn't like people that much, but he's eager to serve them. Why do you ask? I just wonder what kind of man he is. How do I get to know him? Reuben will come here tonight to get down to examining my brother. You will get acquainted then. Alright. So he's gonna come later in the day? I'm not sure. I think... Last couple of bit more around. Maybe I should check the warehouses. Hi.
Hey.
Again. I'm trying to find Reuben right now. There you are. Hey, tall guy. What's up?
That wretched Buruk caused even more mayhem back at the station. More work for us.
Greetings, friend. I heard news of your arrival. Everyone has. Are you here to examine the body as well? To your colleague, I do hope you haven't touched it yet. I haven't. Is there a problem? There's the threat of an epidemic. The crucible needs to be quarantined. Any access to the body should be forbidden. Are you sure? Well, doesn't matter anyway. If it's that thing again, what do you think it is? Judging what I've found so far, it could be fevers typhoide or plague. I don't believe it. A second outbreak. Wait a second, I need to regain my senses. Are you sure about this? Do you mean what you say? I am, and I do. If it's the sand plague. Master's death was so untimely. If it's the sand plague, we only have a few more days to live. You see, I have no idea how to stop it. No one does. So you're already familiar with the disease? I'm only making assumptions. I don't want to believe this. I'd rather have any other plague than this. We have no time to waste. The body must be inspected, isolated, destroyed if necessary. We must take protective measures for that, of course. We need your diagnosis before we can provide reasonable protection. At the moment, you can only buy yellow immunity boosters at the drugstores. They are no good, but I'll try to do something about this. We'll need to take some remedies from Master's old workplace. Did you know he was murdered by his son? An atrocity. His son has nothing to do with this. I presume Isidore was infected by Simon and died of the same disease, or vice versa. Let us not waste any more time. Yeah, you're right. Let's make haste. I'll get everything ready for the examination. And meanwhile, let's arrange for the body to be isolated. Kane is keeping it in a cold place. I'll keep you informed. If we act deliberately and with calm mind, we can prevent this epidemic. Stay strong. I won't leave you on your own. Is there anything else to talk about?
Master would have approved of my actions.
Don't worry about me. I know what Master would have done in my place. I'll just do the same as he did 5 years ago. Call for me if you need me. I am staying in Evian's place. It's close by. We have
As you can see, this guy is truly massive.
Just a big old dude.
He's huge. Well, at least compared to Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still tall, but it's like, especially with Daniel, it's like really funny. We have identified the killer, although we've yet to apprehend him. Reuben will collect the necessary equipment to protect him as he works with the bodies. In the meantime, I should inform Georgie Kane of what the primary investigation has shown. Georgie. I'm still pronouncing it wrong. Like I said at the beginning, you can't say anything to me. I'm immune. I'm immune to words.
There's no get his ass for Ken.
Few people know
That's
death.
the superpower if I've ever seen one.
Usually from determination, and even from stupidity and custom.
I've been told of your initial verdict. You assert that Simon Kane was not killed by a human or a Shabnak demon, but died of a natural cause or succumbed to some physical sickness. Is that what you were saying? I wouldn't say he died naturally. He died of a mysterious disease. Microbes are more efficient killers than demons. Is that a hypothesis or a fact supported by evidence? A hypothesis? Mere hypothesis is not something I'm willing to accept. Furthermore, the same rhetoric is widely employed by the people who want to hinder the murder investigation at any cost. The same people are spreading false rumors of civil disorder which, as they would have it, took over the town. The same people would happily sacrifice human life to maintain a semblance of order. What would you say to that? Man, I'd say that order must be restored. I would rather say otherwise. This whole narrative is much too convenient for these covering for the murderer. The murderer who knew how to take Simon's life and keeps that secret to themselves. What if they do not stop at that? What if there is no murderer? Who are you trying to catch? Till the very last moment, I will hope that the murderer does not exist. I'm not trying to disabuse you of your opinion. However, if you're right, that is a death sentence for us all. Look for the murderer as long as you can. Sure, let us go looking for a coin under a street lamp just because there's more light that way. Is that what you want? Yes, something that was brought into light does not necessarily equal something studied in depth. Not everything that has been lit with a torch has been examined. We are counting on your perspicacity. Find a rational solution to the problem that we would have otherwise approached intuitively. He who is mute can see. He who is mute can see. He who is blind can scream. As you wish.
Yeah. Yeah, so, all these people, there's like a plague, no one really wants to acknowledge it until it's too late to stop its spread, I wonder what I'm describing.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
No, I've never seen anything like that happen before.
Yeah. I mean, that is like... it is fitting that this game had a surge of popularity in 2020.
Yeah. The initial
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
Jeez.
Yeah, Pedal Brain. Happily sacrifice human life to maintain a semblance of order. Yeah, I wonder who would be doing that.
Jeez. No one, who has a basic understanding of human significance and compassion. Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Deeply unrealistic.
The initial findings...
I know, right?
The initial findings suggest that Simon Kane was killed by a highly contagious disease. It seems I will not be the first to meet the killer. Dr. Rubin has better chances at that. I just cannot help but think that were Katarina's prophecy to come true, it would have made the situation even more convoluted than it already is. Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gee, that's pretty tough, don't you think?
That's the main quest. There's usually at least 2 side quests. I can't remember what or if the one for this day is. I'll just walk around, I guess. Where should I go, you guys think?
You'll get a letter at some point.
Oh yeah. Soon. Sometime.
It'll be fine.
Here, I'll go shopping.
Yeah. Stop it.
Let's get a tasty snack.
You'll never know.
The latency is real on my street, on my viewing of the stream, I guess, and so it's you said I think I'll go shopping at when you were walking up to that trash can.
I'm so sorry the lag's so bad. I hope it's not
it's
too bad, but yeah, it's rough. Here, let's get some bullets.
I mean, on the bright side.
Wow.
He's here. Yeah.
Alright, how expensive is it again? It's only 1. So... a needle for some bullets? Great. Awesome.
Hey, that sounds...
That sounds perfectly safe.
Here's one thing I'm not sure about. We know all about you. What are you so happy about, girl? You've almost caught the unseen cat. Want to come see her? Tell me about the tower. If you haven't seen the tower, it's over there. You should probably look at it closer at some point. What do you want to know? How does it not fall? It stands in a firm and very, very, very solid stem, but it keeps oscillating too. It was scary at first, but we got used to it. It contravenes the laws of physics. Oops, wrong button. Tell me about the works. Well, what is there to tell? Well, that's where Dad works, and Grandpa used to too. What's produced there? Well, sausages and canned meat, I suppose. Some kind of flour. I mean, I don't know. Meat food. We eat none of this. It's all for the train. Not that I would ever eat anything they make anyway. But why is that? You know what it smells like in there? Just try it. No, I hate that stink. My stomach doesn't agree with foul odors either. Yeah. Alright. Let's talk more about the unseen cat. Oh, where did you find such a cat? It's the famous pale cat. Her eyes are like translucent emeralds, her fur is gray, and her body is completely transparent. I would never go after such a fright. The light passes right through her. It's very pretty, but most importantly, she's invisible in the dark, and rodents can't hear her. That's how light her step is. She belongs to the pale obtuse. To the what obtuse? Ah, it's no use. I know you won't believe me anyways. Just come over and see the cat for yourself when it gets dark. It's by the 12th warehouse. The password is hell froze over. I'll do my best not to forget this intricate phrase. So, 12th warehouse, when it's dark. Important.
Very charming.
This is an important question today.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember.
Is it because we get to see a kitty?
Yes.
You get to see an unseen kitty, so keep that part in mind.
Excellent.
You won't see the cat, but you will see the cat.
Yeah. You know, okay, think of it this way. It's an unseen cat, so can you prove you're never looking at it at any given moment?
This is true.
Huh.
Yeah?
Pathologic's cat.
Pathologic. I mean, okay, think of it this way. It's a game about rats, and it has a cat in it. So, I feel like we can put these together, even though the rats are chasing the cat.
Nice.
Yeah. It reminds me of this video I saw before. It was like a video using an Urdu song, and it was, the lyrics were basically like, oh, how the winds of change are blowing, basically something like that. Anyway, it was a rat chasing a cat around.
That's pathologic. Just put like meme text over it saying this is pathologic.
I suppose that would make us the cat, but
Yeah.
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 Hell yeah, I'm a kitty. I'm a fucking kitty. This is really the ideal.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Foods. Ugh. I played this game multiple times over and I still don't know where anything is, apparently.
It's okay.
I know the foods just around this corner. There it is.
Yeah, the food, it's just the food on the ground, you know, there to pick up. Yeah.
Can't believe the Bachelor ever starts. Just eat some grass, you fucker. Do you want to die or not?
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Just be a bull and eat some grass.
Right.
Just graze, let. Yeah, and once you buy all this food because you're very hungry, you might want to pay your respects and put some on a grave.
Yep.
Hey.
This is not a hint or a clue. This is just...
This is not. I'm being totally literal right now. You know, slap that raw meat on that tombstone.
Nice.
Delicious milk.
Tasty.
Everything has like a description. You usually don't pay attention to it because you're trying to hurry, and when you're using items, the time doesn't stop. But all of them have like descriptions, and so many of the foods like imply that if you eat them, you'll get sick. Like a lot of them, and it's really funny because I don't think any of them actually do ever like have a chance to make you sick. Which is different from 2, where I think you actually can get sick from a food. But this one is just like, oh, you could get sick eating this, and it's never true.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. Like, to my knowledge, they did intend to implement that, but they weren't able to. Because, as has been said before, this game did not have a budget.
But the funny thing is, even if it didn't... The funny thing is, even though it doesn't actually do anything, I've seen, like, multiple playthroughs where people, like, read that and are like, oh, it must, and so they get so scared that they don't, like, eat certain things that they get, and it's just, like, they literally just, like, scare themselves into not eating because they're afraid of getting sick, which I think is interesting in its own way as, like, a thing, where, like, even where there's no danger there, it's just so, you're so afraid of getting sick that you'll just, like, go hungry because you don't want to buy something that you think might make you sick.
Yeah, for sure. I think like like I've also like seen people do that. They will literally skip food just because they're worried about it making them sick.
Yeah.
And for good reason. Infection in this game sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad. And like as you said, it's also kind of interesting because it really like something I appreciate about Pathologic is that it really does put you in the mindset of someone who might be going through this. Like, you know, for example, like, let's say someone who actually is in this town, let's say none of the food would make you sick at all. They might still be really paranoid about certain foods if there's, like, rumors going around, like, hey, meat will make you sick, or hey, don't touch animal products. And then meanwhile, like, you know, you'll go hungry because you just don't want to eat that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So, yeah, even though...
Very, like, interesting.
There's also, like, other things,
Go on.
like... There are also, like, other items that have, like... They say they'll do something really bad, and so people are, like, so afraid to use them that they'll just, like... be afraid to even, like, give them to other people. And it's just, like, you just gotta use them, because they do have... A lot of them have, like, bad side effects, but you do have to use them, even if they'll hurt a little bit or a lot. Sometimes you just need to use them. But it's just interesting how, like, even just the descriptions make people so afraid to just use them at all. Like, I won't go into it because I guess it's a spoiler. But yeah, I think, do I need any more food? I should get as much food as possible, but... I'm trying to remember where all the stores are. I know there are a couple over here. But yeah, we have a lot of time because the quests aren't as... You have plenty of time to walk around, I guess.
Yeah. You know, light breather before you get into the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
We should probably meet some of the other people that are like... the special people. I know who they are, so I know where they are. And we should probably talk to them, because I think... They said to talk to everybody who might be important, so you don't miss anything, and also, I mean, at the time. And they're interesting characters.
Well. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who I haven't seen. There's the Stomatans. I think they're the main ones that I haven't seen yet. They're also important to Daniil. And, I mean, I guess I could meet everybody, but a lot of the characters that are important aren't as important to Daniil, so I don't know if they'll actually have anything to say.
Yeah, I mean, like, a good chunk of the characters, for example, are really relevant to some of the other characters. They're not relevant to him at all, though, like...
Yeah.
I feel as though you could go the whole game and like never talk to, say, like certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in like the Chinese route, they're very, very, very relevant.
Just like they just don't matter to this guy.
Mhm.
And so
It is kind of like interesting. Like most of the special people that have been spoken about are higher people in
Why are
the
you standing there
town
like
and
a
so on.
dummy?
this is the
But
closest this
particularly
game
for
gets.
Daniil.
Yeah, yeah. This is the closest this game gets to TOS. You're about to see it. Sir, your fucking painting is gonna get me in trouble. Okay.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Andre.
Oh man.
This is what I was talking about with the horny. I should have mentioned Andre. He's just like this. I see the dust of my beloved capital on this man's feet. Ta-da! I bet you must have met me. Wait a second. The uni? Were it you juggling knives on the table? Ah, remember the time we got the better of those bastards, eh? And you sat there all quiet. But when the tables went down, you grabbed the shooter. Yeah, I remember. Very brave of you. Those were the days. And look at me now. Those were the days indeed. Dankovsky, in case you've forgotten. And you are? Andre Stomatin, sends to death in 4 countries at your service. Rejoice and sing, those of you who are not looking for me to die. I'd sing, but a single voice, even if its singing doesn't change much. I am luckier than you. I have a beloved brother. You guys must be quite attached to each other. Twins are the 2 sides of a single person. Each of them pulls in their own direction. Each sees their own side of things. I hope to see you 2 side by side someday.
That's it. There's nothing left here. Run. Run!
Now is not a good time to talk, however important the matter. Nothing important, I'm just doing the rounds. Alright. So that's on
This guy.
This fucking guy.
Yeah,
This
this
fucking dude.
guy. Thanks, man.
He's like a lot, and every time you have to talk to him, you're gonna have to see his fucking titty painting.
Yeah. I think the funniest part for me is that, like, you know, my vision is very awful. That's why I don't play this game myself. I did not even know he had a titty painting, and I still can't see it. So, like,
You're safe from
you know,
it's like
this is my first knowledge of it.
the painting is already like really like abstract, so it's like you can tell it's a woman who's almost naked, but you can't really like see anything specific, which is why it's fine for the stream. Otherwise, it would be a problem. But it's still like, oh, so you're horny? I see. Hello.
Yeah, Andre is just like that.
Yeah, let's talk to his twin that he mentioned, and his fucking statue.
Oh man, I think I have to leave. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
This was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
As mortals,
I thank you so much for having
as if
me.
Yeah.
we were immortal.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'm having. This is great. I love it.
Yeah. See you around. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Alright, let's talk to Peter. I see the reflection of my epiphanies in your eyes. Who are you, my long-awaited guest? I'm Daniil Dankovsky. You are a good person to drink with and talk to. You will make no mistake by calling me Peter. You can call me Andre too, just for the sake of diversity. It won't be wrong either. What do you mean? Question time will be later. Let's drink some twirling to our acquaintance. And don't you dare insult me by refusing. There's a retort in one of the cupboards. I think I didn't smash it yesterday. I was so pissed. Thank you. I'll drink to your wit.
Old boy.
Alright. Fuck, I should have mentioned what the CW's alcohol, especially when you're talking to Peter.
Yeah, definitely. I was just thinking about that Peter definitely needs an alcohol warning.
Yeah, I forgot.
I do kind of like the way they talk about his alcoholism in some respects. Like, from the design documents or like some other material, it was said that, you know, his drinking should never be made into a joke. Like,
Yeah.
it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, like, I do appreciate that. It's also, like, man, I wish they would say other things that were in this for that important, but I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I guess we can get into that later when it comes up more. I'm still
This game is full of things which is just like, it does certain things really interestingly, and it makes a lot of points about things that are really interesting. At the same time, it does have its own flaws where it doesn't quite, get over that thing itself. Yeah. I mean, not with regards to the alcoholism, but other things.
Yeah. It's just, video games, you know how they are. They're flawed. We hate gamers.
That's
we
true.
talked about this. Gamers should be oppressed. The usual. But
yeah, gamers should be a stigmatized class in society.
But
we say this while live streaming a game on Twitch.
But it's one of those things. I criticize it all the time. I like making fun of it. I like saying it's bad sometimes. But love this game. It's fun. Oh fuck! You're gonna attack that woman.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it because if you attack them, you'll just get in trouble. Not good.
Not great. Not great.
That's one of the things.
It's really
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just gonna say it's one of those things where it's like one of the first things you figure out as you play this game is how much things like that are gonna happen. You watch it happen and you just have to walk away because there's literally nothing you can do about it. And it's one of the really awful things is that how often it's a thing where you just have to watch burn a woman to death or attack a woman in the street or all of the plague stuff, most of it in fact.
Yeah.
It's just that feeling of powerlessness is a big part of it, and it sucks even. And the thing is, I got so used to it in the Army playthrough that I actually finished the whole way through that I was just I didn't even, I recognized, oh that's awful, but it was I just didn't care. I was I have to be somewhere, and it happens in this town, and it's kind of, you just get so used to it.
Yeah, kind of fucked if you think about it. Weird.
Well,
Unfortunately, it's not a game where you have any special immunity to anything. If you attack those people, it's gonna be however many fight on one.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have enough.
Somebody join? Hello. I can't tell.
Well.
Welcome. Welcome. Where's the other? I'm looking for food right now. Where's the last place?
Really, in this game, you're always looking for food, bandages, food again, more bandages.
Yeah, definitely the best way to get bandages is just to find the drunkards and talk to them and get bandages from them, because it's better than just buying them. You only have so much money.
Yeah, and you gotta use all that money on food.
Basically all of it. Yep.
Yeah, it does make you wonder, where are they getting those?
Who knows?
We kind of just sort of accepted it as a given, but the economy of the game is really interesting. Children have bullets, medicine, other really expensive shit that they honestly should have no reason to have. Is that why there's a shortage of this stuff?
Yeah.
The kids all have it.
Yeah.
That's why no one else does.
Where else should I go? I think I went to most of the food stores, and I don't there aren't many other places to go. You want to talk to Grief? You want to talk to Bad Grief?
Yeah, we have to talk to Grief, obviously.
Gotta talk to Bad Grief Funny.
Yeah, that's like the number one reason to do this game. You shouldn't do it because it furthers the plot. You shouldn't do it because it's like you're getting into the mindset of the character. You should do it because it's funny. and that's why Daniil is the worst route, because you can't catch a rat and put it in a race. Very like minor spoiler about the other routes there, but you can put rats in races.
You can. It's really fun. You don't do it very often.
Yeah.
But you can do it if you need like a little bit more money, and you're very good at catching rats. And you're lucky.
Yeah.
The Solon have got an opportunity to catch their breath. This is good. Now everyone will have the time to prepare. Otherwise, they have to mourn our boys, and the halves would be orphaned. The Solon halves? It's just a catchy name. Notkin says because each of them has a familiar. A cat, a dog, a crow, or a grass snake. Half a soul more than a normal person. Or a normal animal. I thought the locals believed that a normal person is supposed to have one soul. Isn't soul splitting only reserved to your steppe abominations by the local folklore? Are you nuts? The Shadow Knight doesn't have a soul at all. Although, perhaps Notkin has finally done it. He used to make fun of the old legends, taunted the steppe-played spirits. So perhaps the Shadow Knight can show him his place. What do they do, those soul and a halves of yours? It's a lifestyle that's larger than life. If you join the soul and a halves, you have to adopt a pet. As you raise it, you change it. Then when it's grown, it gets the other way around. Your half begins to take care of you. And so you're always together, bound forever. And what if the animal dies? I don't know. No half has ever died before. What kind of a soul and a half are you if your familiar can die? They wouldn't take you in the first place. Naturally.
Yeah. I mean, it's very funny to hear about this kind of thing, because these kids take this very extremely seriously. And like, you know, on the face of it, it's like, yeah, we have our soul-bonded animals. And I'm like, yeah, I used to roleplay about that in middle school, too.
You got the warrior cat.
It's like a bit more dire in this game, because these kids have all the bullets.
It's like extreme roleplay.
Yeah. There's, like, I stand by the fact that there's no real, like, there's, like, one big ideological, like, battle here. One real difference, confrontation, whatever you want to call that. And that's the warrior cats RPers versus the wolf role players. That's it. Everyone else can go home. Alright, stream's over. We solved Pathologic.
Oh, here you get the first taste of how confusing the warehouse is for no reason to walk through. There's like, the map doesn't show any of the things blocking your way, so you just kind of like have to just wander until you figure it out. And I've forgotten.
To be, will be.
Basically.
Hey, dude. Welcome, dear guest. Give the man something to drink, let him grab a bite, sit him down comfortably, show our big city guest some respect, and don't let him out until I say otherwise. Well, where am I? Ain't it obvious? The Brotherhood of Thieves, that's where you are. You've got two options now. You do, dine in hell with us, or run like hell from us. Let me go in peace, I'm a doctor. Since we just met, Doc, you go in peace for the first and last time. But next time, your exit will cost extra. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah?
Well, mate, got any good stuff? What the hell are you talking about? You're a Sawbones, right? Yep, a Sawbones. You can go anywhere you like. All them doors are open for you. Wish my thieves could do that. Well, if something nice turns up, waste no time and drag it over here. Good stuff will fetch you a good price, it will. Just as I thought, show me what you have in store. You watch it, mate. I'm trusting you here. You're probably going around drinking coffee with them big potatoes day and night. You ain't gonna rat us lot out now, are you? The stuff I'm selling, good and bad? I'm not an enemy to myself, am I? Now this is the funny guy who sells you guns and stuff for way more than they're actually worth, because you can just talk to little kids and get bullets from them. And you can usually get guns at certain points. And this guy is like, if you're really desperate, you can talk to him if you need something, but usually you really don't. Because he's basically always ripping you off, and it's really funny. Like, it costs so much for no reason.
Yeah, this guy's 48, but he's being outdone by a bunch of middle schoolers.
Basically. And so you just kind of,
Yeah.
you know, you do talk to him a couple of times in this route. I can't wait for those. And that's fun side quest. You know the one.
It's totally fun. And very easy.
It's a very enjoyable, fun experience. You know, normal for this game. We just like to have fun here.
Very pleasant, very simple.
You know, yeah. I'm trying to remember everywhere. That's the railway, you can never go inside there.
I've pointed out in chat, yeah, like... and don't let him out until I say otherwise. Yeah.
You know, I should talk to Marie, actually. For some reason I thought I talked to her already, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, you haven't. Even though she's, like, definitely one of the most important people, at least to Daniil.
Yeah. I should definitely talk to her. And we'll see epic Daniil straight moments.
Yeah. Daniil heterosexuality simulator.
A lot of the... Peter has a thing for her too, if
Go
I
on.
remember. I mean, I'm pretty sure that statue that he made is just her, but it's... Dude, your statue needs work. I'm sorry. It's very bad.
Yeah.
It scares me a little bit.
Peter is kind of weird.
Yeah, just generally.
Like, you know, he's weird in like a artist way, but he's also weird in like a other way, straight way.
You know.
In a very straight way.
Yeah. He's very... Whenever I remember that, I'm just like, ugh, cringe. That's real cringe. That's the only thing that's actually cringe, is being a weirdo straight person.
Yeah, you know. You know, like, it's perfect. You actually must be a weird art person. Like, this is mandatory, not optional. However, being a weird straight person is punishable by death.
Especially being a weird straight art person.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a weird art person, you have to be gay.
Yeah, this is it. I accept and even welcome weird art people who are gay, but if you're straight,
Coming up
get
on
out of
Maria's
here.
house. Hello. You get to see.
It's like really funny. There's like so many romantic tangles.
Why is it like
This
that?
wait is over.
Yeah,
They've always
like, you
wanted
know,
it here.
there's, as you said, Peter has a crush on Maria, and like, there's also Andre and Ava who are like a thing.
For some reason. I can never
Yeah,
figure
like,
that out.
yeah, I still don't get it to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone in game gets it either. To be honest.
Yeah. You resemble an
Like-
adventure. Yeah. She's like, how did you guys meet?
Like, you know, Daniil's shock is, I think, supposed to be read as, like, you know, what do you mean? I thought she was my girlfriend, but I really think it's like, what the hell? In general? This was mentioned before.
Yeah.
This is really random. That's what I think his real reaction is.
Yeah. You resemble an adventurer rather than a doctor. How is it that you know me? I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. What else did you see in that dream? I'll tell you when I think I can trust you. I hope that happens soon.
There's more life in me that can be lived.
Now listen closely. The time for collusions, secrets, and alliances has come. I'm going to ask something of you. I'm not used to that. I'm used to holding the reins. But you are not harnessed, so it would be unacceptable to address you in this manner. I find solace in the fact that my request will be welcome with you. It fits the style of your venture. I'm not an adventurer, and my job is no venture. I hope it never becomes one. I apologize if my words come across as mangled and silly. I'm truly not used to asking. But the nature of my request demands complete and selfless humility. Just imagine me begging and kneeling, and believe me, I do feel that way. Here's the line. I'd kneel myself before a lady as charming as you.
Yeah.
No need to kneel. What do you want to talk about? Today's death was the first, but it won't be the last. Simon has opened the score of irreplaceable victims. Soon their number will multiply. I beg you to preserve the lives of several people when the lines of their fortune cross yours. Before any of them dies, it will be a moment that you will be able to intervene. I know that for a fact. Who are these people? That doesn't matter. What was destined to happen will happen. You can be whatever you want to be, but not a coward choosing to hear no evil and run away from reality. I will give you a list of those I know of. These people are bound to you. Bound? There is a tight spring of power within each of these people. Each of them can break the routine of human existence and become something greater. They are standing on the verge of their humanity, gazing into the realm where they could serve a different, higher purpose, without even knowing it. Moreover, they are bound to make the leap, in one way or another. That's why we call them simply the Bound. But how is their fate bound to mine? Did you say my victory depended on them? How? I don't know. I'm not a mistress yet. The future's not as clear to me as I'd prefer, but I can feel the present. I can already distinguish a dubious guess from the pulse of the precise knowledge devoid of words and images. These people are bound to you. Their lives are connected. I wouldn't have asked you to take care of them otherwise. Are you clairvoyant or something? Ah, yes. You haven't been told, have you? It didn't even cross my mind that someone may be unaware of my abilities. No one here dares doubt them, for they are evident. Yes, the mistress of every ruling house possesses special abilities. I am learning to see the future and transform the present. This fact offers your words a different degree of authenticity. Will you comply with my request? Will you save the lives of the people I named to you? Answer me before going back to Eva. Alright, if it is truly within your power, I'll do my best to save their lives. Actually, wait. How do you know that Eva had asked me to come back? I know Eva. She wants to safeguard you from my nocturnal intrigues, doesn't she? She strives to touch the mysteries of our family, to learn the game we're playing. Well, talk to her. Perhaps you two will manage to uncover some bits and pieces of the Keynes' dark conspiracy against humanity. But you haven't given me an answer. What will it be? I will do as you ask, Maria. My honor bids me to. And you'd be better off not giving me cheek. You won't like me when I'm angry. This fucking dude. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know why she bares her teeth. I think she's just like grinding her teeth. I'm not sure.
I like to think she was doing that at him, but I know it's just.
Yeah.
You know, the you won't like me when I'm angry thing. Don't know if she appreciated that. Can you blame her?
Yeah. These are all the Bound. They're important to Daniil specifically. As you can tell, a lot of them are the Keynes, or people who lied with the Keynes. Whatever happens, these people must live. Their fates are bound to mine. They may well hold the keys to my victory in their hands. So it's Georgie, Victor, Andre, Peter, Maria, Eva, and Mark Immortel, who we have not spoken to yet. And you don't really speak to that much until, like, the end, I think. Not much.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's like an actor,
Yeah.
so he's weird. He's a theater kid.
You know, as all theater kids are. Nothing more to it.
I don't think you hear a lot about him in the game itself, which is interesting, but there is some stuff in the design docs that's interesting. I'm not sure if it's actually still canon, because they're just like, those aren't necessarily canon, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it is.
I don't believe I've read that design doc, like for him. But what I do remember is that, like, in general, he doesn't strike me as someone who appears in many of the routes at all. Like, even though, in the first game whatsoever, because even though he's one of Daniil's Bound, and all of his other Bound are quite relevant to his whole story, Mark Immortel really isn't.
Yeah. It's one of those things
At
where,
least on the face of it.
Yeah. I don't know if he was, like, meant to have a more clear position. I mean, he must have, considering how important Mark is in 2.
Yeah.
But it doesn't super come across in this until, like, certain lines that he says later. I won't spoil those. But I have read the design docs, and I think the thing about him specifically was... Oh no, it's locked. Oops. I forgot it's locked today. You can't even talk to him. Come on. But
Thanks, man.
I remember what it was saying that he was like... in like a group of performers, like, for something. With like... I think one of the things is that they were all people with disabilities, something like that. Like, he has a cane, and I don't know what the specific reason he has it is, but that's one of... Yeah, and I think the story of how he ended up here is someone in the troupe, like, betrayed him or something, and that's how he ended up... It was something, I can't remember. There was more specifics. Don't take my word for it, you should probably read it yourself if you ever find it. But it was something like that, and it was like, you don't hear about any of that in the game. It's like, it just doesn't matter to, like, what he actually does in the game, which is barely anything but a little bit. And
yeah, basically.
I think basically it's just supposed to be implied to be important in some weird way, just because of the connection to, like, the theater themes in the game generally, and he's the theater leader, so it's probably supposed to mean something, but I haven't figured it out exactly.
Well, he himself doesn't really, like, have a lot of focus. The theater itself sure does.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Yeah. Which we will see.
Actually, kind of, like, yeah. I won't say much about it for spoiler reasons, but he actually kind of even, like, at the very end of Daniel's route, mentions that he doesn't seem to have a big role to play despite being one of his round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Just
he says some other weird stuff in the last couple of conversations. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is why he's allowed to be a weird art guy. Because he's gay, unlike Peter.
Yeah. Mark's allowed, or Peter's not. These are the laws.
Yeah. Peter, take notes.
I don't think Capella's will say anything to me, but I might as well talk to her. Hello.
Father.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's something to say.
Me lately.
Look at all of this. If only my dear mother was alive, she'd take the reins of power in her hands. Even Father would listen to her. But who's to take care of us now? Not Katerina, that's for sure. The mistress is too exhausted. Katerina is supposed to take care of you? Katerina is scared like a child herself, and I also think she's being tricked. Yes, her prophecies come true just like it's always been. But they are becoming more and more noisy. Every word she utters comes across as a metaphor. Can she really predict the future? She sees the vague features, and she always speaks the truth just like a true mistress ought to. I can hardly believe that.
Yes?
Just a little bit of...
Yeah.
Just a little bit of Capella.
It's really funny because for me the lag is so bad that the conversation finished like when you got to her.
I don't know
yeah,
how to fix
so
it. I'll figure it out for next stream. But I wanted to make sure that I had this stream happen today because I just wanted to do it and not like put it off anymore. And I'm glad I did because this is fun, even if how long have we been streaming now?
Like 3 hours.
It doesn't feel like it. Though my legs are a little bit
yeah,
tired.
it doesn't.
I want to finish the day, and it only should take a little bit longer. I can't. What time is it? Fuck! It's only 4. Whoops! There's so much time left in the day. Why did they give me so little to do on the first day? I can't believe this.
I mean, in that case, we may as well talk to everyone.
Literally everyone. Let's get.
Yeah.
Let's see. At the town hall, not use can use it. I should probably talk to Lara.
Yeah, for sure. I would also recommend it. Yeah, I'd also recommend at some point heading by the cemetery. Grace is there. There's also some food on one of the tombs.
Oh yeah, I think that isn't that food on the other tombs though that are on the other side of the town though.
Oh yeah, that's true. I like misremembered where it was.
That's
I was
fine.
like, yeah, you know, it's in the cemetery, right?
Well, it's on a tomb, so that's like natural. But they put the mistress tombs on the other side of the town in a fancy graveyard just for them because they're so special.
Yeah, too good to be buried with the common folk, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll go over there. I guess that is something to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and we still haven't gotten that letter that you talked about. So I'm just kind of like wondering.
Oh well.
Soon. Sometime soon, please. Can't keep doing
At some point. It's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to... Conversation... I'm very new to streaming, so it's like, I don't know what to talk about, generally. It's like... Especially with a game where there's this much, like, walking where you don't do anything. And you're just like...
Yeah.
So... Nice weather we're having? Do that kind of stuff.
Awful weather we're having. Look at the sky.
I don't know, I like this weather. Huge fan.
Yeah, it's not so good.
Yeah. Maybe this guy will finally have bandages for me. Hey. Look. Thank you. I have so many waters.
Thank God.
I won't need that now, but someday definitely.
Yeah. You know, it's really funny. The way you might play Daniil on a day one, or really any healer on a day one, is like, you know, very paranoid. Like, oh man, anything can go wrong. I better buy. You know?
There are
Like, you know, at this point in the game, he has reason to expect to need a bunch of bandages. But you know, like, you know, if he's the anxious type, then he might, like, try to get a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people... I haven't watched a lot of plays from people who don't know about what happens later. But, like... I mean, it's not a death sentence if you don't know. But it definitely does help, because you know to stock up, especially. And I feel like people who are very new to the game won't even know that's, like, important enough that they should be doing it right away. Like,
for sure.
They know that you'll have to do stuff like keep your health up, and keep your hunger down, but they won't know, like, just how bad you'll need it. Just that they'll know that you will need it. So, I mean, definitely. I'm just prepared. I'm just a very prepared guy. I know everything.
Yeah.
I'm the clairvoyant now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. This is Lara. Say hello to Lara. Hello, Lara. I don't know. I'm trying to remember just how important she is to Daniil's story. I guess she is around, and you do talk to her, like... There are 3 women that are, like, important generally who aren't, like, actually in Daniil's bound, but they come up a lot as, like, figures that you have to do stuff for. There's Yulia, Lara, and then Anna, who we haven't talked to yet, and we could later. We'll probably have time to talk to her.
Yeah.
So...
Honestly, we have time to do a lot.
Yeah.
Like, more than I expected, honestly.
I play too fast. I just, like, I know where everything is. I run around.
Yeah.
Very fast.
I mean, it is nice to get a breather. Like, we're complaining about too much time right now. And then, for sure.
Yeah.
As soon as tomorrow, we're going to be like, hey, fuck.
It's fine. It's all fine. Right now, it's
all
fine. So
fine.
It's okay. You were the person that came to Maria Kane in a dream. I recognize you straight away. My name is Lara Ravel, and this is the shelter. You are always welcome here. My name is Daniil Dankovsky. Let's be friends now. I prefer being friends with everyone. You always have guests, but your face looks sad. Well, yes, I'm the mistress of this house. After all, that doesn't mean I'm a mistress, mind you, not with a capital M. I won't ever become one, but I can also serve people to the best of my ability. Who are the capital M mistresses then? The mistresses of the town, we call them the dream mistresses. Kaina, Oginskaya, Zabarova. Now, after Victoria and Nina's departure, it's their daughters who are trying to see the future. They are far less impressive than their mothers for now, of course. Marie is probably the best. It's good to see children continuing the life work of their parents. Why are you frowning? I'm just in a melancholic mood. We are way too used to playing the game with tragic predictions. I'm trying to arrange everything back to order. You are quite successful in doing that.
They say Ripper was caught.
I know you're a doctor.
Like how you just... Sorry, go on.
I'm just reading the line. You can stop first.
Oh yeah, actually for me, it's kind of hard for me to sometimes tell when you're like done reading because a lot of the conversations end kind of abruptly, and then I said, I can't actually see you like on time.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conversations do end very abruptly, like always. It's like this is just how people socialize. They're like almost in the middle of conversation, but a conversation's basically done, so they're just like, bye, I'm leaving.
Yeah, like you can ask a direct question and they'll just be like, bye.
Yeah. I know you're a doctor, a wonderful one at that, a celebrity medic. Everyone in our small town knew that a famous doctor was coming here. I'm very glad you really have, because I want you to do a certain good thing. Can I ask a favor of you? Depends on what you need. According to Katerina, I don't have that much time left. She's a mistress, isn't she? A few years ago, the child death rate went through the roof here. 6 people died in a week. 10 or so came down with serious illnesses. It made us worried, but unfortunately, we couldn't find the cause straight away back then. In the end, it turned out that children were dying because of a game. What in the world? What kind of a game kills children? They were playing... what did they call it? Well, it was some kind of medical game. They were stealing medicine from the adults and making some diabolical mixture out of it. Then they healed each other with it. Back then, the game just faded into obscurity, but now I've heard they were contemplating doing it again. Somebody has already been poisoned. But what can I do? I'm no poisoning specialist. I can do an examination, of course, but... No, it's much simpler. There's a house somewhere in the town, either abandoned or just unoccupied. That's where they play hospital. That's where they store their horrible mixtures. Please use your standing and your celebrity name to put an end to this game. Capella, Olgimski's daughter, believes the house will be unlocked today. I'll do my best, of course. How can I find the house? Capella mentioned it's next to one of the ruins. My friend couldn't hear them properly. Have you seen those stone stairways to heaven? I think you might even be able to see the house you're looking for from EVN's window. But most importantly, it should be unlocked. Do people around here ever leave their doors unlocked? In exceptional cases or emergencies, yes we do. But generally, houses are supposed to be locked up because they're occupied by several families. People aren't that scared of losing their own belongings, but they care about their neighbors. And now that everyone's so afraid of the man-eater, of course everything's locked. In that case, it won't be too hard to find. Oh, here's the other side quest.
There we go. These kids, I would just say that these kids are, stealing medicine, and that's where we're getting it from, I guess.
Yeah. What kind of
There's,
games?
no supervision. Yeah. There's no parental supervision in this game.
just none. The kids just run around. What kind of games are the local children playing? Lara's worried about them, or she's worried about the mysterious schmouters they seem to have discovered. It would put her mind at ease if I could get my hands on it and wrest it away from them. I know where they keep it. I can see the stash from my window in the Stillwater, in a house by the staircase ruin. Alright, let's go. I should also probably talk to Cola, maybe, before we do that? Because that's supposed to be related to what she was talking about. I don't know if she'll get anything from it, though.
May as well, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that we just talked to her and now we have to talk to her again.
That's just how this game works.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's true. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just noticed my exhaustion is starting to go up. It's not there yet.
That's
high, but probably something to pay attention to.
Yeah, for sure.
Still have plenty of time to work stuff done. I'm getting a little tired and I have to eat, I think, so I wanted to finish by ending the day, but I don't think I'll be able to. So I'll probably finish this quest and then like, take a nap in the game.
That sounds like a plan. You know. Yeah, take a nap in the game and in real life. You know, get that immersion. Very realistic. The real pathologic experience is only sleeping and eating whenever the characters do.
Game that causes
Honestly,
you
I
to be
don't think that'd be that.
Game that causes you to be sleepy in game and in real.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I said that as a joke, but to be honest, that wouldn't be that bad. Like, yeah, their sleep schedules are so fucked up, but like, at least as far as eating goes, I mean, they have to eat pretty often.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you will be hungry a lot, but as far as how often you're actually eating, you will be doing that, like, pretty often. Like, I don't think you're, like, if you were not here with the fucked up air, you would not be starving.
Yeah. The fucked up and evil air.
Yeah. That's fine.
I like the walking sound effect.
Yeah, that's very distinctive.
Hey, do you have bandages? Thank you. Yes, you do.
Better have bandages.
It's so annoying when you talk to these guys and they don't have anything. It's just like, why did I even talk to you then? Get out of my sight.
Yeah, what's the point of you? Come on, man. Why are you here? You have one function in this game.
Well, that's another thing. I'm not... There are a lot of conversations you can have with, like, the random NPCs. I haven't been doing most of the conversations because I guess I've been rushing a little bit. But...
Yeah.
Something to note is... Not all of them have something different to say every single day, but a lot of them do. And it's probably a good idea to read all of them. Just because, I mean, it's lore, it's fun. But also, like...
Yeah, for sure.
There's probably, like, somewhat important information. I think some of them sometimes say things related to the quest. I mean, it's been a while. But they do have interesting stuff to say. So it's good to check every single, like, type of NPC. I haven't talked to these guys. But for some reason, like, some of them just don't have anything to say. Oh, I can't talk to these guys. They're about to beat someone up. Well,
God. That poor person.
Yeah, not good.
Not great, not ideal, under any circumstances.
Nope. She said it was one of the buildings next to the floating stairs, right? I think it's these ones, because it's the one you can see from Eva's. Well, I can't see it, because the air is full of fire, so you can't see very far. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean
you
can
know,
see it
just
from
have nothing
her
to do
house?
with the draw distance.
Twiring just is draw distance, that's what it is. Games love doing that, where they have, like, they make it look like it's foggy, so that you don't have to worry about to shorten the draw distance. So it's just like,
yeah.
I guess this is accurate. It's just like, yeah, you can't see because of the twiring. Shut up.
Basically.
It's one of these houses. There are two next to it, so I don't know which one's the right one.
I mean, I like tease it a bit, but it does work. It's very atmospheric.
This one? No. Which one is it?
It's one of them. Somewhere.
Let's see.
deep, engaging gameplay. I say that. I say that, but it is interesting though.
This isn't even a door.
You have to walk around and
It just
look
looks
for
like
stuff.
a door.
Yeah.
Fucked up fake door.
Very elusive doors. Whenever I see a small child, I'm like, hey, can you give us directions? Not really, but still. You know, like what you were saying earlier about how they have like hints about quests. It's like also, you know, as they were saying earlier at the start of the game, those two, the tragedian and the executor. It's not great to ignore these people. Like they definitely have stuff to say that's helpful.
Yeah. Also, I keep forgetting to save, so I should probably do that. You can see all my so many saves in here. Let's overwrite one of these Bachelor saves.
Forget about that, Bachelor. We're the new Bachelor.
Meet. Also, being in this house scares me because, later, when you're in one of these houses, you can get chased around. Whenever you're in these houses, you're usually, like, stealing stuff from a section of that's been, like, abandoned because of the plague. And, hello, kid. What's up? May I inquire as to how you found this place, sir? Oh, by accident. Why do you look so funny? We children are funny creatures, half human, half something else. Our inner world is off limits to adults. You can't see our real faces just as you can't touch our dreams. Which is why we need these scary heads. See how it all works? I see that you are here, and have no idea why that is. We're playing here, rehearsing actually. Also looking for something. We need it for the game. Nothing special, just some junk. Try again, and try to be honest this time. Yeah, well, it can't be fixed now anyway. Alright, I'll tell you. Who knows, perhaps you'll even be of help. The kids are in danger. We've come here to get schmouters, but someone has already looted the cash. Maybe it was Capella's doing? She's probably distributed them among her minions, the pagan. I don't understand a thing. How is it dangerous? The little ones are playing Epidemic again. They want to get their hands on these damn schmouters so very much. So now we need to catch the kitties. I mean all the kitties in the town, one by one, and pry the schmouters from their hands. See, the common opinion is that schmouters can cure all kinds of ailments and stuff, but in truth, they're deadly. Well, why are they produced in the first place, then? An adult will be severely poisoned. They'll be bedridden for a week or so, and that's it. But it smells doom for little kids. How are children supposed to cure themselves, then? Children? All children should come to our polyhedron. They'll be safe there. Oh, you mean that odd structure next to the crucible? Please don't tell me someone's living in there. The specular tower on the other side of the river. There is no death, no grief, no boredom, and no disease there. That is proven for certain. Only dumbheads leave it voluntarily, if you ask me. You have to be an absolutely thick and heartless creature lacking any semblance of imagination to refuse something of the sort. Alright, I get the general gist. So...
Fine. Yeah, you know, normal kid activities. They have like a clubhouse in the weird fucked up building across the river.
Yep.
As one does.
So there's no schmouters in here, but I can at least check the thingies.
Yeah.
Alright. Maybe I should talk to Capella now? I don't know if that'll change anything. But I did talk to them and they said they didn't have it and they said she might have taken them. Maybe. I did get some meat from this, I guess, so that's something.
Yeah, nice. You know, some like raw meat you just found.
Just eat it.
Tasty.
Maybe it's worth more than the... Because, like... So the costs where, like, everything's, like... The fresh stuff is always more expensive, so maybe I can sell it for more if I need to.
Yeah, definitely. And then you can, like, buy... Because, you know, the prices fluctuate a lot. It's gonna raise a lot tomorrow and then other days.
Yeah.
Be quite cheap. You're like good on food, so you could definitely sell it tomorrow and get like a bunch back, like on another day.
Yeah.
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 You know, like a good old insider trading.
Yep. Anything I can do for you? I'd be much obliged if you help me learn how to get around your town. I get lost all the time. There's more than one town here. The first one is called the Pulp Project. The second one, the offspring of the project, is the districts, I mean the residential part itself. Not so long ago, the town also dropped anchor across the river, but I wouldn't so far as to call that a part of District 2. It's just the polyhedron. The districts, a peculiar way to call the town itself. Well, it just sort of came to be that way. The Golden, the Guzzle, the Gorkins tributaries divide the town into 3 parts. Each of them consists of many separate courtyards, so maybe that's the reason. And what are those parts? The lower part, adjacent to the abattoir, is called Earth. The one between the Gullet and the Guzzle we call the Knots. And the triangular promontory between the Guzzle and the Gorkin is the Stoneyard. That's intricate. What about the districts' names? The Stoneyard consists of 2 districts, the Bridge Square and the Atrium, plus the Mistress's Tombs, of course. Earth has 4 residential districts, the Skinners, the Tanners, the Hindquarters, and Crude Sprawl. In the middle, is something wrong? I'm just not sure you need any of this. The knots of 7 districts, the spleen, the marrow, the chine, the backbone, the mouth, the flank, and the gut. I don't suppose I need to go into further details. Surely the Canes will show you around. They are expecting you after all. Much obliged. Alright. That was a lot of information at once. I don't think... I'll never remember all of those.
Yeah. The thing is, like, that's just dumped on you, and it's like, this is not useful.
Yeah. It's like...
It's nice to hear these names.
Yeah. And then it's like later they'll like talk about... People will like say something's in an area of the town, and you just have to know already, I guess, where that is. Like, very occasionally, it's not too often, but very occasionally they don't tell you where, like, something is specifically on the map, and then you have to find it, and they mention these areas of the town, and you have to just remember them, I guess. Because otherwise you're not gonna find
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, you know, as you can see, the map does not actually, like, you know, have names on it, at least as far as I can tell. Yeah, that was one, like, improvement they made into it. At least you can, like, tell where stuff is. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. It doesn't really help that there's, like, certain areas that different people will call by different names.
Yeah. It's like, even if it's like true to reality, it's like, I do also have to play the game that you made and know where things are, and, you know. So it's like, even if it's like accurate that you wouldn't know all the places and people would call them by those names, even if you didn't know, it's still like, really annoying.
Yeah.
The winter
like, you know, it's that tension between, like, trying to have an immersive experience and, like, being taken out because you're like, this is a game where I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, and I have to, like, I've had to look up, like, guides and stuff to be able to, like, figure out where things are.
Yeah. It makes me think about how the head designer of the game talked about how, like, he had envisioned the game with no quest markers at all, so, like, that was about Patho 2. That was about Patho 2, but, like, in Patho 1, there are some markers, like, sometimes people will mark your map. There are times where they don't, though. And, like, I understand where that decision is coming from, but at the same time, you kind of have to, like, balance it. Like, on one hand, yeah, it's realistic. On the other hand, you're going to take people out even more if they have to look at the guide.
Yeah. So it's like, just make the game playable without having to, like, be so frustrated, I guess. Just make a game that people can play, come on. Otherwise, though, I mean, that's just like a small thing. It doesn't come up too much, so it's like, I think it's forgivable, definitely, and I know why they did it. It's just, like, annoying when it does come up. Like, please.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's like, you know, something I kind of, like, really like about this game is that it took, like, it did a lot of really risky things. Like, you were talking about this and we're saying it wasn't a good move, but you have to appreciate that it was like, and just in general, a lot of the decisions in this game, they were very risky. They're things that not too many games, for or since, I can think of, have done. And
Yeah,
it's like,
for
you
sure.
have to appreciate what they were going with there.
Yeah, definitely.
No. A town like this can't give.
Like, even Patho 2, which is like a lot, I would say, more approachable than this game, even that has had its share of people, like, criticizing certain things about it. Like, it certainly just, it also does some stuff where it's like, a lot of people might not appreciate those decisions. But it's like, they took a risk. They took a risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm supposed to talk to for the side quest, or what I'm supposed to do. I went to the place and they said, we don't have it anymore, and I'm like, okay, who do I talk to next? Capella? No, she doesn't have anything to say. Lara, because she was the one that asked? No, she doesn't have anything to say. I generally don't know what I'm supposed to do next.
Now, what does it say in your quest log?
There's nothing new in there, too. It didn't update or anything, it just said it's there. So, I don't know.
Kid is lying, I guess.
Maybe...
Trying to get you off the scent.
You know what, I'll just... I think I'm ready to take a break. And I'll, like, check... Maybe I shouldn't, but I want to check the... I don't have any guide. I'll probably, like, check a guide off-screen, because that would be really annoying to stop this stream for... in the middle of, and then...
Yeah.
But I'll, like, check it, like... And then... when I stream again, I'll know where it is and what to do next.
Yeah, you saw it in a dream.
Maria told me. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daniel's gonna take a
Maria,
funny nap
good
and then he's
friend
gonna
Maria.
know what to do.
Yeah. Hey, so who's the real clairvoyant around here?
So I'm gonna run over to Eva's and just sleep there. And then...
Yeah.
Maybe eat, and then I'll call it for the night.
Sounds like a plan. We've been like... Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of funny, because I'm pretty sure each, like, day only has about 2 hours, but we've been streaming for 3 hours.
We talk too much. And...
Yeah, for sure. I really do think that's it, though. Like, it's probably the dialogue stretching it out.
Yeah.
And also us talking during dialogue. And, time has paused,
My
so...
lacquer is cracking, see?
It all works out like that.
Hey.
Then
I'm
watch
having
tomorrow.
fun. I
Then
don't care
watch
how
like the
long it
next day.
takes.
Go so. Yeah, that's a good attitude.
That ominous
Yeah.
singing outside the window is gnawing at me. What could we sing at a time like this? Tell me, Eva, what are the ruins outside your window? Is it the stairway to heaven? It's on the other side of the guzzle. The ruin is the one that's closer to the theater. It looks better from the second floor. What are these ruins? They look ancient, but the construction is recent. Oh, that's an old dream of the Stomatans. They are architects, They wanted to overcome the force of gravity. These ruins were a kind of an attempt to do so. They were built by the Peter Stomatin. Can you imagine? They still live here. Still haven't gone back home to the capital. Who are they? I think I've heard that name. Could you please tell me if that's not too long a story? It will take as long as you want it to, although one can talk about them for hours. Where should I start? They are brilliant architects. They built something famous in the capital, that 3-storied garden of frozen springs. Does it ring a bell? The Cold Hall? Yeah, Cold Hall. I haven't seen it, but they say it's unbelievable. And it was they that built the polyhedron. The polyhedron is that tower on the other side of the river, right? Yeah, the new quarter, or the specular tower they call it. Do you like it? How does it stand? How is it supported? I have no idea. That's the mystery. Everyone says it's impossible. A miracle. Yes, a real miracle. The only real miracle of all that I've seen. The only miracle so real that you can touch it with your own hand. Well, besides you, of course. Okay, I only want to know more about the ruins. I need them as a reference point. You can't see shit, dude. How long should I sleep?
Forever. Just wake up and the plague's gone.
It's starting to get late. Should I just sleep? I don't know if I have to do this quest, really. I don't know. Maybe I should, because you get schmouters at the end.
We sometimes differ
Honestly, like,
from ourselves than we do from others.
schmouters are really nice. It would be pretty good to not pass one up, but you know, it does. I guess it's not really a big deal if we do.
Yeah, I'll just make sure that I get them. I think I've slept enough that I can get this last little bit done. So, I'm gonna call it for now. Save real quick. But yeah, this is Pathologic. And
Pathologic Classic HD.
I'm sorry
I
for
almost said ADHD.
I did say it was Pathologic Game of Rats. I'm so sorry. There aren't any rats yet. I promise. I'll promise there'll be rats later. I promise. It might take a little. If one day is taking this long for us, though, it might be a little while. But I promise there will be rats.
God, this false advertising, it makes me sick.
You will see rats.
I can't believe you just I can't believe you just lie to the people like that, Ken. There'll be rats at some point. That's the new, classic game of someday rat.
This is the Ken and Moon streaming company promise. You will get rats.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's all we need.
That is the beginning of Pathologic. I hope you enjoyed. It was really fun for me, so you better have enjoyed it. And I'll see y'all around in another stream, which I will definitely announce on my Tumblr again, which is Nocturnal End, one word, on Tumblr. And I won't announce it on Twitter, but my Twitter is NetBuffoon if you want that, I guess. And thank you. You can have it so you can talk to me about Pathologic, or use that as a way to complain at me about my positions on characters. You can get mad at me. Go for it. I'll be happy to hear your thoughts and opinions, and have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.